Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the WRC channel. Make sure you like and subscribe as we make content. The more engagement we get, the more we'll be making for you guys. I'm Chiral today, and today, for this first match, I will be joined by WRC President and JPML Pro Gemma.
Hey, it's nice to be with you again.
Yeah, this is fun.
I know, I like the British combo.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. But yeah, we can find you around on socials at damaqueengem, I believe.
Yes. I couldn't get it just damaqueen. Apparently, that's someone else. You got to add the gem on. I know.
I see. Someone out there has stolen your identity.
I know. I was waiting for Elon to demise all the unused, unloved Twitter handles, but that never happened. So.
But still,
one more disappointed.
Check her out at damaqueengem.
Yes, please.
I stream every now and then on Twitch, doing a bit of variety content and obviously Mahjong commentary and gameplay at twitch.tv/itsmechiral. But yeah, we'll be joined later on by USPML President and Mastercast team Nathanael and Arthur, both A1 leaguers in the American Riichi Mahjong League. Today is a special broadcast. I've been looking forward to this because we will be watching our team, our sponsored team, the WRC team, playing on the broadcast table. We've seen him in the background. We've seen him in like other kind of like wide shots of the
we've seen the shots and stuff, haven't we? But we haven't seen it all in action yet. So
I think I've seen.
I'm excited.
At least 2 players' heads from WRC team, but we actually get to see them play today.
They better not disappoint. I want to see big points. I want to see big points.
Yeah, I have to say that we're going to be a bit biased today, and I'm not sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be 3 other players at the table, and sure, they're going to be doing something, whatever. We're only going to be concentrating on the WRC team. I'm not going to lie.
Speaking of WRC, we are sponsored by WRC and USPML. The US Professional Mahjong League, USPML, is located in New York, where you can find Sparrow's Nest, a mahjong studio fully equipped with Slim Score, Ultimate, and Rex 3 auto tables. There you can not only rent tables for private games, but you can also find leagues and tournaments you can participate in on a regular basis. I'm going to skip that bit. But yeah, also we have WRC, the World Riichi Championship, as you are WRC President, the most prestigious and international mahjong tournament in the world.
I didn't write that, but it's entirely true.
It's entirely true, exactly. Held once every 3 years. The next one will be in Tokyo, 2025
It will be. It's going to be exciting. Yeah.
We brought up yesterday you'd released the initial seat allocations for that.
The initial seat allocations. So there's probably some exciting conversations happening with your national organization. But yeah, do keep touch on our socials because there's a few last minute agnostic routes to get through if you can't manage to qualify for your national quota. So please do keep an eye on our socials so that you can catch any other potential opportunities if you are so inclined.
That sounds great, yeah. But let's not talk about WRC right now. There'll be time for that later. Today, we're here for Yukan Fuji. The Yukan Fuji Cup Women's League is a 64-team league, which is split into 16 groups of 4. Each group will be battling the other 3 teams in that group over 10 sessions, and the top team from each group and the top individual players advance to 2 different final tournaments. So we'll be looking at Group 16 today. And you might see something you recognise there. We have Team WRC, sponsored by USPML and World Riichi. I'm looking forward to seeing them. We also have
time to judge the logo, right?
Honestly, it's a nice logo. The one pin it's used quite a lot. We see 2 1 pins in the logos for the teams today.
We do. It's nice round, isn't it? What other teams do we have?
We have Team Kamekitazawa and Mahjong Parlor. We have Team Mahjong Cafe Beyond in Shizuoka. The Mahjong Parlor with good coffee and drinks. You know what? Having a coffee, playing some Mahjong sounds good. And Team Angel
as well,
which actually has no sponsor. It's just 3 women who want to make a team. Play some Mahjong.
Oh, really?
Why not?
Just 3 unconnected ladies. Wow, okay. That's quite unusual because you have to pay to enter this league.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were motivated.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs to get in, but hey, if you get in, especially if you do well, get to be on one of the TV, it'd be great. Yeah. Get to be on our broadcast too.
Exactly. The most prestigious of the broadcasts.
Exactly.
The WRC channel.
But yeah, who will be playing for our team, and the other 3 teams, of course.
Oh, yeah.
For our team, we'll be having Lika from Team WRC in the North Sea, but the dealer will be Yume Matsunami from Real Mahjong Unit. In the South Sea, we have Saki Goto for representing Team Cafe Beyond from JPML. And in the West, we have Konatsu Ayase from Team Angel, also from RMU. So, 2 JPML players, Lika being one of them, 2 RMU players. I suppose.
I mean, Lika's going to win.
I mean, of course Lika's going to win. Of course. I mean, I'm saying this because I'm incredibly biased. But
I'm just trying to process how she's holding that apple, that's all. Is she enjoying that apple or is she angry at that apple? It's unclear to me.
It's a very good question.
I think it's going to be, it's the foreshadowing how she's going to look at her tiles. I reckon this lady's got a good poker face.
Like, I like to think she's angry at the cameraman. She's like, I'm going to bite this apple in front of you while staring at you menacingly.
Or maybe she's just about to take a nice bite of this juicy apple and the cameraman disturbed her and she's like, can I just not eat an apple in peace?
Here you go, please.
Yeah. You don't want that shot of you anyone eating anything is always a terrible photo, right? There's no way to eat anything elegantly.
I agree. I'm sure some people can probably prove me wrong, but certainly in my own experience, I agree.
Anyway, I'm quite excited to jump right in. I'm going to be honest. I'm
really excited. I was going to say before we do start the match, though, I would like to see what the scores are. I guess we can see what the scores are once the game starts, because the new overlay will display that for us.
Yes, because the new overlay is fabulous and fantastic.
But yes,
there's lights
also,
at
some point, if possible, I'd like to be able to sneak a look and see how all the individual players for Team WRC are doing as well, because the individual tournament matters as well. I can tell you, though, that Lika is currently in 38th place with 54.7 points after 3 games. So we're talking about that individual final. She's got a good shot getting in there. I'm cheering for you. I hope this is another win. At least another positive score.
That's a nice shirt.
Yeah,
that's a nice shirt.
The WRC jackets are great.
And I like the fact that they've put their countries on the side as well.
Yeah, it's like a proper sports jacket. I don't know why. Just very very American almost. But then I guess that's probably Jenn's involvement, right?
Well, I think it's channeling after M League, everyone has that kind of sports jersey vibe these days, right? I think the Riichi guys over in New York, they also have a lot of sports jersey aesthetics. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's the fashion.
Well, I'm liking everyone's start here.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe Ayase has a bit more work to do, but
so Lika's it's not great. So the door is the 6 bamboo.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, really hoping that we end up drawing something around the 8. So I'm thinking maybe a 6, 7, 8 sound shoki would be quite nice. I know it's unlikely, but I see it. It's possible.
It's unlikely. I like your hope, but even I would be like, oh, that's a bit of a stretch.
Because you're I know that's fair. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
He was really flirting with that flush. It's not going to happen though.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when your hand is kind of bad, you just have to try and make something happen, even if it's not the ideal.
That's a Dora there. Gets called. It's nice.
Yeah, I say knows she's got a bad hand, so she's just going to be calling that east as quickly as she can, just to try and move the game along. I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because I don't know if you watched yesterday, but they were really fast, really efficient. People were going to Tenpai in 4 or 5 draws. We're not seeing that here, and some of the play is just a little less efficient than I came to expect yesterday.
Okay.
And holding on to that 1, 2, 2, 3 shape in the man. And then Lika, she had a 6-8, she drew a 9, and she held it. And I'm like, what are you going to do with that 9?
Maybe fold.
Well, she drew it out the next draw.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
it's a curious one. So almost Tenpai over there. Yeah, not sure. I mean, maybe it's just a little bit of
reach comes out.
Reach.
I believe it's just it was a pair weight. Was there a sequence around those pins? So I'll have to check again.
Yeah, Goto has got some decisions to make in a minute. And yeah, I mean, I don't think Lika wants to push into this, really, does she?
Saki Goto is crazy strong. You played with her in the last season of the league in August. Ooh. Well,
And
how's
we're
she doing so
10-5
far
here.
now? Her
Ayase
current score is
10-5.
56.3, so she is doing very, very well for herself. Oh, sorry. Yes, we have a deal.
Sorry. So just a small one. It's not particularly big hand, but she smiles. She liked it. Unfortunately for Lika, Team WRC, that is 2,000 points from us. It's not a big problem though. We can easily recover that. So you can see in the overlay, Team WRC is at the bottom of this group of 4 at the moment with 96,000 points. However, because of the huge bonus for getting first, it's not as big as it might look. Like these are quite volatile. Like you see huge movements.
Yeah,
after
every player
each set of
bets
matches.
5,000 points, and all 20k go to the winner at the end of the match. So big win potentially. We'll see.
And like especially when the scores are this close, you might see someone reach, and then suddenly that total like swings wildly, just from 1,000 point sticks being put in. But that's because it's calculating at that point what the total would look like.
I also think it's really interesting,
with the
like you
winning
said,
bonus.
in the game you commentated yesterday, you had a lot of players who tempo very quickly. In the game I commentated, it took forever for anyone to hit tempai. And there were so many hands that were decided by tenpai payments.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah.
It was explosive to start off with. There was a massive hand at the start, and there was a massive hand at the end. But until then, it was just so tense. Everyone trying to have but not quite getting there.
It's funny how tables get into vibes, right? And everyone can feel it. And then, yeah, there's this strange psychology where your play is impacted by how everyone else is playing. So Ayase seems to have a taste for it though, because she's really pushing with these calls.
Yeah, it's definitely a strategy, right? If you can win early with cheap hands and interrupt anyone else's, I guess, way of thinking, like focus or flow, if you want to call it that. But yeah, definitely there is an argument to be made for going fast if your hand is not that good, just to try and speed things up. But
yeah, I think you really have to. Personally, I really think you have to mix it up a lot, though, if you're going to play like that. If you're always winning the fast, dirty hands, you'll quickly not lose respect, but when you do something, people might not. If you reach because you want to push people off their tempais, they might not respect it anymore. Because I know she reaches the 1,000 point hand.
Yeah, I think you just have to treat it like a case by case basis. But sometimes, yeah, the best thing you've got is going to be just a nice quick wait on the 5-8.
You have to keep your finger on the pulse. Maybe you have to sort of be able to read the table, read how other people's emotional states are. And these are difficult things to do, right? Dora there from Ayase, so she's just managed to get hers a little bit more expensive. 4, 5, 6 shocker from Lika. Is that what we're seeing? Maybe, potentially, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
We're getting a little, we're moving towards the middle of this hand. Yeah.
Goto doesn't really have anything. Being the dealer, you really want to try and make the most advantage of it. But if I was looking at a hand right now, I'd be not the happiest person. Not gonna lie.
No, it's messy, isn't it?
That 5-7 shape is great because it accepts the Dora, but if you don't ever see the Dora, or no one plays
it's fine if you call it, yeah.
Yeah. Especially when we have a player tempai already.
So Goto does get something which improves her situation. My only concern is she might risk dealing in that, right? Because she's not going to play the 5 or the 7 man.
Yeah, I would be concerned at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing, just to keep going. And there's the 5.
That is the end of the hand. Another cheap-ish win, but as you say, pulled that door at the end, so a little bit more valuable than otherwise.
Moves it around, means that there's no more dealership for this is another, moves Matsunami and Goto off their dealerships, and Ayase now is dealer.
Exactly.
I presume she'd like to hoover up some points. Our poor Lika is in bottom, but 22,500 against 25. These are
When
not.
the gap
This is
between
not
you and first
a
place is
bottom.
less than 8,000 points, you don't have to worry about the score gap.
No.
There's
You
definitely a time to
consider
do that.
yourself neck and neck.
Yeah. One good hand will do it.
I like that hand sorting
That is a very
strategy.
interesting
That was
start,
nice.
yeah,
That
for
was
Ayase.
good. I like that.
Lika has a bit of a rough start, but it's still not too bad. It's not too bad. It can be worked on. But I will say the dealer here has a pretty overwhelming advantage, I would say.
Yeah.
Already 2 from Tenpai.
Yeah, Ayase has had the speed here, hasn't she? And the other three have just not really managed to do anything.
If this does go through as quick as it does, maybe Ayase will get out of this unscathed. But being the dealer, even if she wins a cheap hand, the game's not going to move on anymore.
Yeah.
So just winning a cheap hand doesn't necessarily help you as much when you're the dealer. Obviously, you want to keep your dealership as long as you can, but trying to get some extra value here would be quite nice. And Matsunami.
My problem when I'm
Okay,
yeah,
no,
my
not
problem when
quite
I'm dealer is someone always draws a sumo and I have to pay that penalty for being a complete innocent in whatever they were doing. It's unfair.
I'd argue confirmation bias, but maybe. Sometimes Mahjong happens to you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
But then that's the other benefit of going fast, right? Because you're not going to get sumoed out, I guess, hopefully.
Here was a
Lika
really
again.
spicy take. Yeah, for Lika keeping that 9, so...
Yeah.
I look at that and think, maybe it's Itsu, maybe you want to try and give it just a little bit of wiggle room to become a pure straight 1 to 9 in the same suit. Maybe I'm too much of a dreamer, but I see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. And then we drew 7! Oh no! You see what I mean?
Yeah, I should have kept it. But you know what
Can't take
now?
this down.
Now I'm thinking Tanya Ipeko. No?
Yeah, you
I
can
mean, the
still go
problem
for...
is, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, no, because the Dora is the 4-pin. I was about to say, as I was talking it through, I was like, oh, yeah, but that 4-pin.
Yeah.
Can't use the 5 pins as a pair. But she's got quite a few pair options there, so I wouldn't be too concerned. The right draw and you're
one,
golden.
so maybe. But, oh yeah,
Do you
no,
think
you're right,
from
yeah, no.
this? No, because if you draw the 5
You are right,
bamboo.
you are right, yeah.
Okay, you can keep saying I'm right. It's fine. You don't have to stop.
Yeah, kind of awkward situation for Matsunami with that 7. I think it's good to keep, but that's a huge draw for the dealer.
And she
Puts a 1 away.
doesn't. She does. Yeah, she is. And we're getting towards where 1 away, Lika. Team WRC is 1 away. We're
like
all
that.
Team WRC today.
Keeping the one so there as a safe tile for later, I think is perfectly fine. Especially when you see someone calling for something like all simples like that.
Yeah.
You can keep attacking just a little bit longer if you have a style that you know is going to be safe.
Yeah.
To that player. This is Ishanten. A much better Ishanten than before, but still not quite there for her. Gemma's always right. That's fair.
Come on, Lika. Come on, Lika. Yes.
Oh, Tenpai.
Reach. Yes.
Okay, Riichi, Pinfu,
Reach,
1
Pinfu,
Dora.
Dora.
Good weight too, I
5-8
believe.
man.
Don't see many
5-8 man.
5/8s in the discard piles.
No,
There's a very small chance here that we might see Goto deal in. If the 4 is drawn, the 8 might come out. There's a 5. Oh,
there's a 5. No, it's not going to come out yet. She's going to reach it. Yeah. Oh, don't know if this is gonna. I don't think this is gonna come out for Lika. I think she's gonna have to draw it herself. I don't think anyone's gonna gift it to her. Yeah, that 1 pin's a nasty one because it's the Suchi, but she's going for it. Oh, Lika, come on, draw it.
Oh,
willing to draw it. Have you ever played Mahjong and you're just like when you draw, you try to like manifest the correct tile into your hand?
Yeah, just say to yourself mentally, I will draw this. I will draw this.
Yeah.
It doesn't help, but it makes you feel better.
So 3/6 man is the other weight. Sorry, on the table for Matsunami, and Lika team WRC is waiting on the 5/8 man. The 8s are fairly embedded. I think there's 1, 2,
there's
3.
1.
Yeah,
but
it's not going to
the player's not in Tenpai.
There
it is 5. You don't see it, and we flip an Eridora with the 8. So what a huge win! You can make lots of cheap hands over and over
nice.
again. But all
Uh,
it takes is one big hand, and all of the work from Ayase. I mean, it's not undone. She's still in second place, but lost that first place position.
oh, that's a big deal for us.
That is huge, yeah.
And you know,
If the
we
game
go
was to
from
end
the
right
total
now,
goes from -90 to -27. Exactly what I was saying earlier. It's a huge, that first place winning bonus is huge.
yeah, every position matters, but that first place bonus matters so much.
Oh, so much more, yeah.
Imagine.
Well done, Lika. Come on. You're a
Yeah.
dealer now. Just keep pushing forward. Yeah.
Now's the
That's
time
all you need.
to make something happen. She did open with a Dora, but it's going to be hard to use. Well, it's not going to be hard to use, but she doesn't have anything that can use it yet. I don't think it's going to be that hard to draw a 5 or a 7 or a 6 of bamboo there. It shouldn't be too difficult. There's so many tiles that get you there. I'm saying this, but
I was about to say, we've all sat there just drawing
I'm
absolute
going
crud
to knock on
over
wood.
and
I'm going to
over
knock
again.
some wood. There we go. Oh, but it's Goto drawing the 7, so letting her use that
Yeah.
Dora. She definitely has a very much faster hand right now.
Oh, south. It's not really all that helpful to us.
I still think a triplet's very good. Even if it's not triplet of your wind or anything like that, I still think there's a lot of value in just having a triplet.
It's just for Lika's hand, it's just going to be difficult to find that Yaku
Oh,
here.
what a huge pull, though.
Those kinds of draws are what we're going to see. I just don't have that Dora is just sitting there because I can
Yeah.
see 7 bamboos already. So that Dora is going to be a pain in the arse.
Yeah, the other great thing about drawing the triplet itself is that we already have a pair. So now, turning a pair into a triplet when you already have another pair is just really... Yeah. It makes your... Oh, what a draw!
5 bamboo! Yes!
Just keeps getting better.
So
that's a huge fill, though, for
that's
Goto.
a great draw for Goto, yeah.
Interesting. A chance to maybe consider the pure straight there. For Ayase. I like it. I like this keeping the 9, so.
Oh,
I know Itsu is a deceiver.
It doesn't really exist.
But yes.
Oh, Tenpai from Goto, rating on the 5/8 bamboo. Do you know what? So close to the door, it's not great. She's going to have to draw it herself. I don't think anyone is going to readily gift her that 5/8 bamboo.
I think the 8 bamboo could come out. I do think it could.
Do you think she's going to give it?
Not yet, but she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9.
Oh, she's got 4 south.
Or a chance to Khan, but maybe not yet.
Okay. So the 4 of the 8s are embedded in people's hands. I don't think those 2 8s are coming out. I'm sorry. That's going to be a pair there.
I think if Ayase draws the 7, I think she'll be tempted. Itsu's really tempting. I'm just saying.
Watch how Lika broke away that can to play safe. That's good mahjong. Or you can happy button people. Okay?
Especially considering it's on a tile. It's basically 4 safe tiles.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
We might even see another South come out here. If she's going to commit folding.
She's having a think, isn't she? She's looking because the Riichi was on the 8-man, wasn't it? Which makes those 6s and 7-mans difficult to throw. She's thinking about it. She's not sure. She's going to go for it.
A lot of Mansu tiles were played, but yeah, tiles around the Riichi tile are, I think, on average 5% more dangerous, I believe. Is this number?
Yeah. So it depends whether you're into your min-maxing, I guess, and when you best play. Far too many online RPGs. Oh, look at this.
Interesting. So still 1 away, and with a safe path to Tenpai if the next tile gets you there.
Yeah. I mean, poor Goto here is going to have to draw that 5 bamboo. I really can't see anyone. There's obviously the 1/5 bamboo is already the door indicator, and with this 4 draw, I think there's no way. There's no way.
I think
Ayase is throwing out that 8 bamboo.
It's got to be. Yeah, this is where we give up.
Yeah.
Okay. Completely understandable.
The one pin is safe, always the 1 pin before.
I believe most players Sumigiri. Not everyone did though. So some players may have changed the shape of their hands to suddenly wait on that 1 pin, but it's unlikely.
I guess if she holds the 4 pin a bit longer there, it just gives an opportunity to get more dangerous. Whereas the 1 pin terminal tile less likely to be helpful to someone else. And here we go.
Okay, it comes out.
4 bamboo, 7 bamboo. Again, not
Just
a
reached draw
great,
1, but yeah.
not a great weight for us, right? I don't think it's a great weight. I wouldn't be enjoying that weight. Again, I think I'd have to. It's one of those ones you feel you have to draw, right?
Exactly, yeah. But still, 4-7 versus 5-8. As with our knowledge, we do know it's not too bad.
Our knowledge.
Because of how bad the 5-8 is as well. But yeah, if you didn't know that, yeah, I'd be a little bit concerned.
Yeah, it's close to the Dora. People are gonna be absorbing those tiles wherever possible.
But I think there's a very good chance this just goes to exhaustive draw. We'll see. But
Yeah, I think so.
that
But
would
then
be
that's
very good
fine
for
for
Lika,
us as
though.
healer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. And she could still draw. I think there's still 1-7 out there, isn't there? There's 1-4 there. I think
I'll do
1-4 got
a bit of
dropped.
counting, but
Oh, there's 2 4s there. No, so there's only 2 tiles left, I think, that she can draw. It's
I feel so sorry when
Yeah,
you feel like you have to fold. But because one of the 2 months has passed, she'll be out of this hand completely fine, I'm sure. Yeah, are we going to see any of these tiles? I think it's just going to be exhausted from here on in, and that's not a problem.
One last draw, is it for us? No. Yes, it's one last draw for Lika. Yeah.
Yeah, when the Khan... Well, the Khan didn't happen in the end. Right, of course.
No, it didn't. We looked at it lovingly.
But yeah, 2 players 10 point, both of them going to gain 1,500 points from almost but not quite winning.
We are reminded that there are player bios. I didn't... Jen, if you're watching, I'm really sorry. I didn't look at the script because I didn't want to be spoiled.
I sort of hinted at the players to the players we have of their individual scores, but yes,
you're getting genuine reactions from Gemma here. I'm quite excited.
Yeah, Lika is from Beijing in China. She's currently a university student. Wants to live as a cool woman. What does that mean? Out of curiosity, maybe not asking what that means, and just living it is the cool thing.
Holds an apple with a fairly exhausted yet aggressive look on your face.
Fair. Yeah. This is her first year as a pro. First time playing in Yukan Fuji. Mahjong and drawing are her life. So she's an artist too. Amazing. She scheduled a class around Thursday so she could play in Yukan Fuji. She's studying to be director. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Is that a film director or?
I assume so. I could be wrong.
I think you need cool more than cute. You need to study to be a company director. You just do it. It's fine.
A cool woman does not count. What do you mean? What do you mean? Nah, it's pretty cool to calm. But it's only cool to calm when you're about to win. Like, to calm for no reason, that's incredibly not cool, you know? To reject a Khan and just be like, yeah, you know what, I got 4 soap tiles. That's cool.
Lika's looking here at a flush hand at the moment in the character suits, but as we can see, Goto has a lot of those man tiles as well, which could block Lika. I'm not a big fan of flush hands. Oh no, it's happening at her though.
Yeah, I think I would say probably about 1 out of every 4 flush hands isn't actually a flush hand, and by pushing it, you're making a mistake. But that doesn't mean to say you just give up on flushes entirely.
Not entirely, but I think it's one of those hands that people, especially people starting out on their mahjong journey, they're far more likely to push more than than they have their dues to be pushed into flush hands.
Yeah. I do like flush hands when you've got a backup, say like a pair of dragons or something like that. Because that way, if things do go wrong, you can still kind of attack.
And yeah, she's not going for the flush. Exactly right, because that 6-9 bamboo weight is far stronger.
Yeah, especially if you can make your hand look like a flush and then reach.
Exactly. Flushes are too easy to read. I see your problem now, Lika.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
you just have to
staying strong is the right. And that 7-8 bamboo, I should have mentioned as well, that 8 bamboo is the Dora, so the 9 gets a little bit stickier.
Yeah, I definitely think it is a mistake for people to give up on 1 Dora, potentially 2 Dora, for a half flush. It's not enough of an upgrade. Oh, what a huge draw! Pulling that 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.
That hand does seem to be like going, you sure you don't want to be a flush? I can be a flush if you like. I don't think it's a flush. I don't think it's a flush. Even now,
Yeah.
I still don't think it's a flush. And the
No.
thing is, as well, half flush hand, open, Tenpai.
Choosing not to reach. So I
half
think
flush hand is only worth 2 hand. It's not worth all that much.
Yeah. Do you think it's very interesting we saw a Dharma there, right? Because
See what she's.
she can't win on the 8-man. She has to win on the Green Dragon.
She drew the 6 moment. Yeah. Yes, reach, obviously.
Oh,
yes.
this is the saddest thing, right?
4/7 man.
This is the saddest thing. When you build a flush, but that's not a flush, but it ends up
But she's got.
waiting on the same tiles as the flush-looking suit.
But it's a Riichi, Pinfo, Ipeiko, Dora. As
Exactly.
dealer, that's fine. I presume Ayase is not.
Oh, it's an Ipatsusumo!
And if she keeps drawing them, it's amazing. Oh, Lika, I love you. I love you so much. You're bringing in all the points. It's amazing.
She's letting him fill the score.
1,000.
Oh, well done, Lika. Keep it up. She's almost got the team WRC into the positive scores as total.
Yeah.
Going into this game, we had a minus 60.1 team score.
Big deal.
Huge
Pushing
deal.
ourselves up. Yeah.
As far as teams are concerned, we were in 4th out of the group, but if the game were to end right now, we would be in 3rd. If Lika gets a slightly bigger win, then we will even go into 2nd place. Oh yeah, we're being incredibly biased. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I know. I heard there's other people at the table, and maybe they're my friend. I don't even know anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, we're cheering for Lika.
Come on, people, give us likes, more likes for our wonderful team, because Lika is killing it.
She is doing so well right now.
It.
As we go into the 2nd repeat of East 4, how many will we see? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though. I hope it's a few more.
Do you know what? Now, I mean, to be fair, she hasn't really been, the hands have been big, but she's not been overly pushing anything. There's nothing where I'm going like, ooh, that was a stretch. It was a good stretch, but the thing where I'm like, oh, that's a pretty aggressive move. She hasn't done anything like that. She's just been hoovering up those points in a very cool woman way.
Yeah, if she was being really aggressive, we'd have seen things like that Khan earlier, but we didn't. It's very disciplined, keeping a cool head.
We're starting to build a picture of a cool woman mahjong player. I think that's what we're doing now.
I think I'm starting to understand. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, speaking of school though, she's learning to do directing, but she also won the Student Mahjong Championship in the inaugural and the next year after that. So we have a champion.
Yeah, so she is. She's already got some titles under her belt.
Absolutely, it's awesome. But yeah, I think we have
Ayase.
Lika. She's not the only.
I'm not feeling.
Okay.
Lika's current hand though. It's not...
Yeah, it's not as exciting, unfortunately. I do like Matsunami's hand quite a lot. Not a huge amount of value, but
Lika doesn't need to push now, though. She doesn't need to be aggressive. She can't, this disciplined, conservative play. If she keeps that up, she's going to win the table. I'm calling it now. She's going to win the table.
But also, what happens if what if you won more points? I do think having an escape route is important, especially when your hand isn't quite getting there, and it is slowly advancing. It's just not advancing in quite the way we'd like it to be.
Yeah, but she's shown herself to be very good at drawing the right tiles. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, but what if I just had more points? Is the engraved on the tombstone of many a mahjong player now?
I mean, fair, but also. Yeah, even Goto
Pez says that Lika is directing the pace of the game. Very clever, Pez. I like that.
Interesting situation. Either way, it was Ishanten. The question is, which Ishanten do you take? Do you take the 1-2 so? Which I think is better, honestly, in this situation, because we're probably more likely to fold. And we
I
see
think
two
so.
two so's again,
Yeah.
but so it's been played by one of the other people. The one so then we see at least two of the two so's, and it's a terminal, so it's probably going to be more likely to be a safe tile down the line.
And with this call, we're in Tempai from Matsunami, and although Lika has 2 Dora. Oh no, sorry, that
That's
wasn't
a
Lika. Sorry,
huge
that was
draw for Lika.
Ayase.
The reach does
That was
come
Ayase.
out. Waiting on 3 so. maybe that's what being cool is all about. Reaching on 3 so. Getting with
She's
the
the dealer
memes.
though. She's the dealer.
Yeah.
She can ask the questions on the table. However, Goto here is now also Tempai on the 5-man. She takes the Tempai. She doesn't reach it.
I think that's fair. Honestly, I wouldn't
Mm.
want to be aggressive about that, but if I did draw it, great. Oh, the 3 comes out!
Oh, I wonder what motivated her to drop the 3.
And I believe that's an Ura flip as well. The 2
It is.
pin being Uradora. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think, yes, because she got the 6. That's why.
She's like just casually winning. This is very casual, cool, and winning.
Definitely.
But yeah, so Matsunami.
With that Ura flip, 8,300 points is kind of crazy, honestly. I said 7 plus 2 Honba and a Riichi stick, but yeah. Kind of insane. Hey, just keep it up. Just keep scoring points.
Yes,
Lika,
Lika, however you're doing this, just do some more. That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, 6 just passed. So it was Tsuji. I would argue that Tsuji isn't safe. You shouldn't assume it is most of the time. Especially... But I guess it was But if you've got nothing better, sometimes you have to go for it. And sometimes you'll get burned. And yeah, we've all been there, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember if she had any tiles she could have folded on. I might have been tempted to fold it. I don't know.
Yeah, the player who dealt in, Matsunami, is currently 80th place in the league with a total score of 6.3 points. But otherwise, other than the fact she's from Shizuoka, we know nothing about her. She is a woman of mystery. Now, that is also pretty cool, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, can we squish that Sanzo? Can we squish it? Can we squish it?
If you're just joining us, guys, Team WRC are playing, so we're entirely biased on this one player, Lika. And we've got 2 more games streaming today of different commentators, and they will be equally biased on Team WRC's player.
We'll also be seeing Jenn, who's in chat, playing at some point soon as well. I believe every player from the team is going to be playing 1 game each, so look forward to seeing Jenn's game.
Jenn has to comment on her creepy cult of Sanzo. The creepy cult. It's weird.
I think it's based on old statistics, right? There was a time where people did like the number crunching, and they found out that 3 sorts of tile dealt in the most often, I believe. No idea if that still holds. Probably doesn't. These things change over time, but
all I can say is that must depend on your data set.
Yeah, exactly. But you know,
had they all been told that Sanzo was like a special tile, and all started treating it weirdly? Because that's usually what happens.
I think it's just kind of fun. But yeah, I will say Lika's hand here is not quite as good as we'd like it to be. It does have that Dora, but it's hard to use. I'd love to see Itsu, but I just don't think it's going to happen. As I say, it's the Betrayer. It's the hand that never quite finishes when you want it to. Ooh.
Going to call it, obviously, because that Goto's now in Tempai on the 3/6 pin, right?
Yes.
And Ayase
is Tempai as well.
Tempai. She takes the Tempai and she reaches it.
Yeah, reach Pinfu, why not, I suppose, if you are in second place, and a very close second place at that.
I mean, here, you know, you're going to get into this headspace where you want something to happen. You need to change what's happening because Lika has dominated.
The other important thing for Lika is to not feel invincible. Because I've definitely done that before. When you're playing Mahjong and you had a nice streak of wins, and you're like, oh, I can't lose.
Can you not narrate my head game, please? Because that's exactly what I do.
We've all had those games, though, right?
I can't lose. I just keep winning until I lose the hardest way possible.
We've all been there at least once. Lika's still getting really useful draws, but are we going to see a pursuit reach here? We
So there's
are
an argument
checking
about
the
who
pair
owns the
weight.
cult. Sorry, it's sorry. The cult belongs to the community.
Yeah.
When I said Jenn's cult, I meant like I'm distancing myself from you eccentrics.
Yeah, I know that. I know Tips definitely preaches the word of the Sanzo, but I don't know if he was the originator. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to ask.
Probably creepy pasta somewhere. That's where it came from. Oh, and we've got her on.
Ayase manages to get that pinfu. And flip an Orador, it looks like, the 4-pin. So, very
That's good.
nice.
She's looking happy now. Like she's yeah.
It's
I feel like
always tough, right? When one player has a massive lead, and
yeah.
you're like, I've got to fight still. I've got to really fight. But probably the best thing I can do here is get second place.
And Ayase was putting in those small punches right at the beginning. It was like
Yeah.
2,000 point hand, a 1,003. I can't remember. It was maybe 2,000 points, but they were quite small hands, right?
Yeah, it was. I think there was a one hand followed by a lucky 2-hand. It was in one hand, but she drew a Dora. I think
Yeah,
it was
she
on
drew that Dora.
card.
She was a 6-man Dora, and she managed to switch over from a 7-8-9, didn't she? With the 6, I think it was. But yeah, a believer of Nagare or flow. I think that's that sort of smallish win that you want to sort of turn the winds back in your favor now.
I think sometimes it's more just a mental game. Like,
Yeah.
just to say to yourself, I can win hands. I can. I can build hands against Tenpai. I don't care what I win. I just need to win something now. I want to know what winning feels like. I've forgotten. You know, I've had those games too. But yeah, Ayase from Chiba Prefecture. Her dream is to become a bride, and her nickname Konatsu. So, if you wanna call her by her little nickname, why not?
She wants to be a bride.
Yeah, it's an interesting goal. I think there are steps along the way that are probably more important.
I was about to say, like, what does she likes about a bride? Having to organize something for like 12 months of your life, and stressful, and your parents have opinions, and your in-laws have opinions, and then you have to spend a lot of money on it, on dresses you'll never ever wear again, and will sit in the bottom of your wardrobe forever. I'm not talking from experience here.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Best day of my life.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm sure it was a lovely wedding.
It was actually a lovely day. The run up to the day, not so great.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Anyway,
Lika has a
back with
very
Lika.
interesting
Lika has
start, though.
yeah. I mean,
The
she's
White
north,
Dragons
so
have
she's
played
got
once already, so unlikely
yeah.
it's going to be.
Oh,
It's been
they
played
are
twice.
they're
It's
dead for
gone.
her. Yeah, she's got the north wind, so that's her wind. So she can easily fold out of this. And I think honestly, every hand she has now, she should have a exit route.
Yeah,
She
that's totally
doesn't need
fair.
to lose the points. Doesn't need
Especially
to
when
lose
the
them.
dealer here has 3 Dora and is already, I think,
Ooh.
1 away from Tenpai. I have to check again, but we'll think 1 away from Tenpai. That's your secret? You're always grumpy? Oh no. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm a little bit scared for everyone on this table. Matsunami,
Goto
not only in
is
Riichi, but
oh,
with Dora 3. The weight is kind of poor, but if you did deal into it, it's going to be huge.
yeah.
Lika, though, does have a million save tiles, and she is going to use them.
There's no need. She does not need to be part of this fight. And we Tepai and Riichi from Goto. I mean, Ayase here. I mean, one day.
Yeah, there was a shot where you. I think an instant issue or something hiccup happens. It's okay.
It might be having technical problems. I check.
I'm
cutting a bit.
To you for at least first hand.
Chiral. Okay. I can't.
But yeah. Okay, so people have decisions to make. I think two people here are falling, unfortunately. So realistically, it's just going to be about who manages to draw this tile first. Although I do think with the 3-pins being held there, I don't think we're going to be seeing the 3-pin come out from anyone. Yeah, I've noticed that that Gemma was cutting out a little bit. Hopefully I'm not cutting out. let me know, everybody.
Oh, maybe it's my connection.
Yes.
I hope it's not my connection. Oh no, I'll
You appear to be
okay.
back.
I'll
Okay.
check that no one has
Technical
streamed
difficulties always
football or
happen.
something. Okay.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's the ISP. It's not your fault, I'm sure. But yeah, Goto actually manages to win that hand. Very cheap, but it shuts down Matsunami's massive Dora 3 hand. So, I'm back. Oh, was I gone? Oh no. that's concerning.
Yeah, I'm worried it's me because I've got a lot of the audio's come back. I don't know. There's been a lot of snow around here, a lot of bad weather. There's a really bad storm coming over the United Kingdom at the moment, so I'm hoping
And then
that
the aura is activated. I like
it's
that.
our
That's
internet.
good.
It's not going to
Yeah.
crud out on us.
The new dealer right
Commentator
now
resume.
is
Are we
Saki
here?
Goto. Yeah, I can hear you. She goes
Okay,
by
good.
Devil Saki.
Good. Sorry, everyone.
Which I kind of love as a nickname.
Devil Saki.
Devil Saki. She's actually a pretty new person to professional mahjong. She was playing in, I believe, JPML, and she was in E2, but she moved to D3 with the new rule by getting over 200 points in a pro league last season. So I think she double promoted, I believe. So that's a really good sign if you're doing quite well. Also, she's currently in first place in the higher up league. So super strong player. Devil Saki indeed. Well, hopefully we won't have a devil's bargain here, and we'll be able to have Lika just win. But we'll see.
That's my concern here is that we've had all the excitement, and now we're just gonna watch Lika be really conservative and defensive, and I won't get to scream down the mic or anything anymore.
Saki, but with horns. No. Pairs, that's amazing. Yeah, speaking of Lika, how's her hand doing right now? It is kind of awkward. I also want to go 7 pairs with this hand, which is not what you want to do. I guess it's actually kind of perfect if you're trying to fold.
Yeah.
If you're trying to play really defensively by keeping safe pairs of tiles, you have that get out of jail free card. Assuming they actually are safe, of course.
Yeah, I'd just be stacking my exit route from the first discard.
I've had the games though. I think IRMC definitely stood out at me. Where I've had a massive lead, and then someone in South 2 or South 3 has had a really, really strong dealership, and suddenly they've gone from 13,000 points to 50,000 points.
I did that to someone today.
Oh no!
And I felt really good about doing it.
This is the devil's deal. Oh no!
I don't know how any of us are friends in Mahjong, because let's be honest, we all really enjoy it, and we screw the other people over.
I mean, the important thing is that you get to be the one to do it every now and then, right?
If
you only ever lost and had really bad beats every single time, I think you probably would get sick of it. But sometimes you're the one who's really lucky, you know? Those are the games we live for. Yeah, I do like how Lika's keeping safe tiles right now. I know I'm focusing on playing more than others, but that's because I am incredibly biased.
We are all biased, so and this is a great start. So there's 2 more games after this on the stream as well. Who are in both the 2 next games also involving the WRC team. So they've decided that they're going to take turns. So we just see all 3 members of the WRC team playing tonight or this afternoon, depending on your location. So this is Lika. I think Jenn might be up next.
I think Jenn's up next, but I'd have to. You'd have to wait to see.
And Jenn is in the chat, so yeah, you can quiz her maybe.
Oh yeah, I believe that once Jenn's game is finished, I do believe we'll be getting her in the call to grill her about it. So hopefully it's a good game and it goes well and she'll be happy and not completely soul crushed. Also, Pez, why did you remind me about that one time? I forgot about that game. Oh no, flashbacks. But yes, it does. These things do happen, and oftentimes you have to try and still win a few hands, if only just to deny other players their dealerships, because otherwise, if you let them run away with it, it can get out of control sometimes.
Goto has an interesting, I guess she wants to throw that 2-man. She's not comfortable with that 2-man though, is she?
I think ideally, yeah.
Yeah, she's not comfortable with that 2-man.
I think that's really
Um,
interesting, right? Because I'm just trying to look at the discards from other players. 2 mana is pretty live, but 4 isn't that much better. I think there are a few 7s discarded, but
it's more, the 4 is more central, and you're putting off that decision for later because someone else might throw a 4, and you don't have to. I mean, yeah, I'm just wondering what she's going to throw. She's going to throw the 5 mana, and she's going to reach. So that means that 2 and that 4 man are not happy tiles for her. For Goto here. So yeah, I don't, unless someone makes it obvious that 4 man or that 2 man is safe, I think she's gonna fold.
yeah, I think that's fair.
Haven't seen any of these green dragon Doras either. Am I crazy? I didn't even see them get. Oh, there's one.
don't
Oh, there's
think
one
anyone
they're
has.
thrown out. Yeah,
Yeah,
or 2 they're thrown out. Okay, no one's managed to build them into their hands. Do you know if there should be a cult in Mahjong, it should be a cult of bright green dragon, because these black dragons are upsetting. Oh, and Goto here is potentially temper if she wants to take it, if she is brave enough to throw a 2 man or a 4 man. And
the
she
4
is.
comes
She's
out.
going to go for
I'm surprised it's the 4. Maybe I'm missing something, but
I think it probably
what
is.
is
It's difficult to see from here, but there's probably to do with the number of 5 mans and 3 mans that she can. There's 2 3 mans there though.
still
And
we
it
do
does
see
not
a
matter.
sumo from Matsunami, which honestly is desperately needed at this point. So hopefully she'll be able to catch some points back. At the very least, she's getting that Riichi stick.
Mm.
I always like cheering for the underdog, but I'm being biased, but I can cheer for someone else to get second place at least. I want to see
Yeah.
them come back to be in the running to get second place. Maybe not first.
I don't know. I don't like being under that £60,000 cycle. £60,000. Gosh, 60,000 points psychological barrier. I saw £60,000 in my life. I'd be a much happier bunny than I am.
Honestly, fair. Think of all the martial tournaments you could go to.
To be honest, it's probably about 1 week's worth of shopping these days.
Well, yeah. I do like Lika start though here. This is really good. You obviously don't need to be aggressive. Oh, hang on. Wait, hang on.
Hang
What?
on.
Matsunami, what do you have there? Hello? I was really excited about Lika's start, but I'm just looking at Matsunami's hand right now, and I'm a little bit scared. I believe so, yes. I do believe the Black Reach 6 come out if a player does go negative. We have seen that as a few times.
Yes.
Doesn't
So they're
happen very
usually like a
often.
little separate pot of your tray. Like, they don't have to call a ref. They don't have to do that thing we do, at least in Europe, where you're like going ref, and then someone runs over with a different coloured stick, and everyone goes like, "Haha, that person's bankrupt." They just it's already there in one of their little trays, just not activated.
Yeah, it would feel really bad if I had to own up to being a negative. It happens though, it happens.
Yeah,
But
I like the way that people barely even say it now. Sometimes you can just tell by the way they raise their hand and look for the ref, and you're like, that person's bankrupt. You don't have to say it.
Well, Matsunami does draw Dora though, which she's going to slow down her hand quite a bit. Having it looked like potentially like maybe 3 considerable, something like that. There's a lot of things we can do there, but that Dora is
Dora is a obstacle, and Lika, I think, is 1 away, if I read her hand correctly a minute ago.
We can triple check, but I believe so.
Yes, so there you go. Yes, so she's 1 away.
Yeah, 1 away. Bad, kind of rough shapes though, unless we get a nice upgrade with the 5-pin or something like that. That'd be really nice.
Those north winds, I think, are a viable way out of this, though. So from that perspective, if you think, your top priority is an exit route, your next priority is a fast hand, she's actually doing really well.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable, yeah. Always having something. Actually, have they not started right now by anyone, or are they still live? Because even a live pair is sometimes very dangerous. At least it can feel very dangerous. I think there's one discard now.
It's an on a tile. If someone's waiting on it, it's only going to be 1,000. It's only going to be 1 hand likely.
That's also very fair, especially if you know where the door are.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried. Oh, that's a nice draw there for Matsunami. She's trying to bring back some more points. Ayase, not so great. Sorry, that was Goto. Ayase is
playing aggressively here, but I think that makes sense. It's her last leadership. We're in South 3.
Yeah.
she can get a win here. Oh, hang on. Are we chanting for Yakumon here? For Matsunami?
Yes, we are.
I did say I was concerned about those triplets, but oh gosh.
Yakuman, Lika's not going to be first. Oh, shoot.
I
But
think
she will be
she
first.
would be, right?
Okay, fine. But she won't be as first.
Yeah, it'll be a
She
very sad first, for sure.
won't be this exciting first that I'm looking at right now.
Oh,
Oh,
that is a useful draw, but
3
Tenpai,
concealed
3 concealed
trips
red dragon,
and
Dora
a
2?
red
Oh, sorry.
dragon.
Wait, we
Yeah,
don't need Dora 2, but not the actual. I would take this though.
I'd
Will I
take it,
reach?
yeah.
We do see a reach. I might
Yeah.
have Dharma'd that. I might not have actually reached that one. I don't know.
I think I'd.
Forehand, yeah, you know, you don't necessarily need to bump it to 5. Although if you flip Eridora, unless I'm missing a Yaki here.
I think, it's a red dragon. They're not there. She's going to have to draw it, so she might as well reach it. No?
I guess from a pure EV perspective, I think forehand bad weight Tenpai is better to Dharma than to reach. But I could be wrong.
I don't think anyone's going to throw the red dragon for her. So
there's also that, I suppose.
And she's not going to fold it.
No, not from that far behind. Oh, there's one.
Yeah, but she was never going to throw that.
Are you sure?
No.
Imagine if Ayase got to Tenpai. She's pushing. You can tell. She's doing at least a little bit of pushing. But she's not going to throw it now. Not when she knows she's not the first person to Tenpai. Although I imagine. I mean, I'm very much in the hypothetical sort of sphere, but yeah. One thing I will say is that we still see 2 red dragons left, right?
I don't think people throw red dragon Doras, this late in the game. No.
Probably
earlier,
not.
maybe. Not this late. She's going to have to draw it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I might, if I was desperate to win and I had a really good hand. I don't think either of those things are true for Ayase right now.
No, I mean, she throws it. She pays even more. She's not second anymore. She's third.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was Matsunami
who
pulled it, yeah, I mean, Matsunami's reached us, by the by. But if Goto pulled it, maybe.
Yeah. Matsunami is the one waiting on that red dragon. There are 2 left though.
Lika's not going to throw it at all ever. So
if you're in first place with this much of a lead, you just do not throw Dora. Just don't do that, please.
I really agree with this reach, which is usually not what I'd say.
I think if it's East 1, I would Dharma, but maybe because it's South 3. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You just got to hit an Ura and then.
Ooh, but this is Tenpai.
Oh. 4 bamboo, 7 bamboo, right?
It's a better weight than the red dragon, but if she draws the red dragon, it's trouble times. Probably just we see someone.
I told you she'd draw it. She knew as well. We all knew.
Okay, fair. I guess with the reach and the sumo, it does bump the hand up to Hanuman. So. Yep.
It's a tasty situation for our Matsunami.
That's a big swing. Perfect for Lika as well, right? Seeing that the last person who has a dealership left to fight you is now losing it.
Come on, Lika. Because now we've fallen back down to third in our little group. So we need to get back up to second. Come on. Grab us some more points. You can do it. Come on, Lika.
Exactly, yeah. This is the perfect situation to attack now, because even if you deal in, you still get first. So just try and win, especially if your hand is good. We'll see how good this start is, but it's decent. It's not great. But it's decent.
Not ecstatic.
I would still attack with this.
Or throw immediately for Matsunami. She wants to lock in that second place, I think. She does not want to risk it further.
I think that is totally reasonable in this situation. Like, you cannot get first, so just secure the best you can get. So we might see 2 players be very aggressive here. Those 2 players being Matsunami and Ayase. Actually, that's a really good point. Is the can't quite see the door here.
Wrong?
That is what is that? That's a green dragon. The door is actually red.
The door is a red dragon. Oh, okay. Sorry, it wasn't an initial door throw from Matsunami. The actual door is the red dragon, which Lika is obediently holding. So if you're watching, please be aware that it's the red dragon that's the Dora.
Yes.
A rare slip up by the JPML studio.
But it's very important. It does
But
change
they are
this.
only humans. You know, there's an actual human behind this camera switcher and all of this overlay.
Oh, we got to see them yesterday. They had to adjust the
Yeah.
cameras, so we got to see the actual tech team come out for a little bit.
So some poor person come and run out.
Shout outs to everyone who is working behind the scenes, because this is not an easy thing to do.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah. I don't actually understand how they keep their concentration. And we've got a call here on the White Dragon, and is that Ayase? That is Ayase.
Yep, White Dragon Dora 2, more than enough to get back in, but we are going to see Riichi.
With Senpai. Exactly what you said. It's not great value, but
there is you got very little to lose, right? By attacking here, for Lika at least.
Yeah.
Potentially lots of
3 bamboo, 6 bamboo.
Yeah, south. It is the south round, so that pair of souths is going to mean that this hand is not pinfu, but who cares as long as you win? Especially if you just even Riichi Sumo, maybe flip an Urador or two. That'd be very nice.
Maybe flip an Urador or two. Do you know what? I love how hopeful you always are, Chiral.
I think the odds are 31%.
Yeah, if I was to give your Mahjong strategy though a name, it would be the hopeful strategy.
Mine is that is what it is, right?
Or cynical. Yeah.
You hope for everything. I mean, I am very cynical when it comes to it, but I hope for everything, and I just let myself be disappointed every time. But you have to set your goal high, and then go lower as the hand goes on, right?
It's just impressive to see so much hope after the last 5 years of whatever's been going on in the world.
I mean, yeah, like the bar ends up being like the floor, but I start with a really high bar, and then after the first 6 discards, maybe that bar's dropped by half. And after the next 6 discards, it's like
this is a great draw by us. Do you know what? That's what we need on the overlay. We need like a hope meter.
Hope meter. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, they miss that. Yeah. If I ever manage to get my own little Mahjong studio, that's what I'll have on my overlay.
This is very interesting for Matsunami here. She's got to break one of her shapes up. If she chooses the 3-4 shape, no, she chooses the Manzu. After having drawn the 5-6-7.
Want to go though, doesn't she? She wants to keep that second place.
Yeah, but she had that 5-6-7 man shape, and she cut that entirely because she didn't want to deal in. So the 7 comes out. Oh, and she's been rewarded too with that 5-so draw.
I mean, you know, sometimes it's not just about winning the points or going fast or shutting someone else down. It's about not paying into them.
Yeah, I'm going to see that right here as well with the avoiding cutting the 4-7. Sorry. We keep seeing all of Lika's winning tiles get drawn, but by everyone else.
Sorry if you can hear something in the background. There's other humans in my house.
Sometimes it's all right. Pleasantly disappointed. I like that. It's not always pleasant, but we could say that. That's fair. I like that. But yeah, I do think this is either going to go to exhausted draw or perhaps we're going to see a reward from.
I mean, exhausted draw is still fine for us, I think, right?
Yeah, it's points, right? You have to keep working it up, but points are points.
Come on, Lika, draw it. You can draw it.
I should probably do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So we've got 6 more tiles to draw, right? 1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
6 more, yeah.
I think it's 3 tiles, but I could be missing 1 or 2 in the player's hand. I think one more shot.
One more shot. Similar for Lika.
It could happen. It could happen.
Gone.
One can hope.
Come on, Lika.
Not this time. That's okay though. Points are still points, and we say seeing a multiplayer's template here, I believe.
Maybe she's just waiting for like one big blowout. Nice final Yaku man.
Hey, being the only person on Tenpai does mean this hand is worth 3,000 points, which might actually be worth more than the hand would have been just through Riichi on its own. Because I do believe it was Riichi only, right? So
Yeah.
I like to call it Pinfo, F-A-U-X, like a fake Pinfu, because your pair is a Yakuhai. So it would have been worth maybe 1,000 points had she won it, but she's gained, assuming she doesn't get the reach stick back, 2,000 from that reach. So perhaps that not winning is actually the better outcome here. As we go on to Southpaw.
If she can pop herself over that 2,000 point mark, though, I think psychologically that's a nice way to end.
Pair Souths?
So pair Souths. Again, you're going to call it, right? You're just going to go fast.
There's an option to do a half flush there, but I don't think half flush is the right move there.
Goto has a nice hand, though. That is a nice draw. It's a nice initial draw.
And yes, Lika's not the only person with a pair of Yakuhai. We do have that pair of the Green Dragon here in Matsunami's hand, and Goto might play the Green Dragon very soon. So that will probably be cool, because Matsunami's going to be just trying to take any win she can to end this match. Oh, it's really tense. I don't know why it's tense. Lika's pretty much guaranteed first here, but for some reason I just feel really tense.
As you said before, a lot can change.
True, but we are in South 4.
We are in South 4. If someone wins, it does just end. If someone who's not Lika wins, it just does just.
If other players had a dealership left over, then I would be more scared. But even if Lika deals in, it would have to be.
How many we have?
But I don't think Lika Sam Byman dealing would be enough, right? I'm just doing a bit of. Yeah, no, 48 wouldn't be enough. So Lika is secure for basically everything except for Yakuman.
Lika is looking for that flush, though.
I think it's reasonable. I think it depends on whether you finish any other shake first. But we'll see. We do have that.
I mean, the nice thing about the flush is you can call it, and you might really screw up someone else's hand because they find themselves with lots of loose pin tiles they can't actually utilize for fear of you. And is she going to call it? Yes, of course.
Yeah, I think the other really important thing is that Ayase is going to be more aggressive because she's currently in 3rd place and can easily get 2nd. So there's definitely a motivation for her to just push that a little bit more than you would otherwise normally do, because you have so much to win by getting one good hand, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Lika,
if this pays off. I might have kept the 4-man. I might have cut the Red Dragon there. I don't know.
So Matsunami is also going for a flush hand, but as in the characters, whereas Lika's is in the pin tiles.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Matsunami's trying to make that happen. I would be more focused on just winning anything. But we are going to see a second call here from Lika.
Yep.
Still not quite
one away now.
There, but one away. Exactly.
I mean, there's no fooling anyone that there's probably a flush from her.
Yeah,
no.
So. Yeah. But potentially a huge win
Goto's going to get the 7-pin out before that flush is Tenpai, and
yeah, it would be really unfortunate if we're stuck on that 7-pin weight, but
yeah. There's 2 7-pins on the discards already. But Lika has proven herself able to draw against the odds, right? And she's going to go this way. It's
with that, if the 2-pin comes out, it's going to be called.
Yeah, she can call the 1-pin or the 2-pin from anyone, right? Compared to a 9-8, where she can only call 7-pin from the player on her left.
Exactly.
So that's a really good situation for her.
I do think, just on average, the 1 is probably more likely to come out than a 7. There is going to be a reach here, and I think Lika might consider folding this. It depends on what she draws, right? Obviously, if you can stay...
She doesn't have that many tiles left to fold on.
Well, yeah, true. I guess it's... I don't know, what does she have?
Said, does it matter so much? She has so many points.
That's also very true. I guess I would avoid dealing on the Ipatsu, if I could. Oh, very interesting. But you've called the 2, right? So because you called the 2, you know it's unlikely someone has 2-3. And because you've got 3 of the 1s, you know it's unlikely someone's waiting on the 1. So that 1 is very safe.
The chat also want Lika to get even more points.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm hearing you, chat. I agree.
yeah, we all agree. It should. Why stop at 60,000? Why stop at 70,000? We can get all the way to 100,000, just like Bitcoin. I'm joking.
I was not expecting that joke.
Oh, it's just the winter. You got to look at something.
I
Might as
suppose.
well look at Bitcoin. Or come and watch us stream. So we're streaming tonight. So we've got 2
Yes.
more games, as I said, after this. So please like and subscribe. And then
The game is over.
Goto
Lika didn't deal
yeah.
in, but BTCA
Wow.
secured
So and
second
we
place
are
from
we are
Matsunami.
streaming again next Thursday and Friday as well. So that's like and subscribe so you can enjoy more of this quality content.
Did I say Lika didn't deal in? Lika incredibly dealt in, but it's still a very secure first place.
Yeah.
Very well done.
I would take a plus 52,000 first place.
Yeah. You can never. I mean, I guess you can complain, but you shouldn't complain about something like that. She was currently in 38th place individually, and with that win, I can only imagine what her individual score would be. What a huge game, though. I don't think Lika had to really try that. I mean, I shouldn't say it like that, but it almost felt effortless, you know? A lot of the hands just sort of came.
As her bio says, she wants to be a cool woman. She's living that life. That was a very cool win.
Honestly, yeah. I got to agree.
Yeah, she did not break a sweat. Did not break a sweat at all. I loved it. I'm so happy yeah. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Team WRC. Actually, I think the other sponsor is coming on next to commentate Jenn's game, right? So Dave is coming on.
We'll be seeing Dave from USPML.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Dave's title is, president something for USPML. So he'll be commentating the next game, and I'm really hoping he gets to see as many points as I got to see Lika.
I hope so.
But that might be a tough ask. I mean, yeah, plus 52
here's the question:
points, a lot of points.
Assuming that it's Jenn playing, are we going to see Jenn just mysteriously disappear from chat the next?
No, it's like no, she'll stay. She won't be able to not stay. Surely.
I see. But yes, for the next match, I do believe we'll be having Nathanael and Dave.
Thanks so much for the commentary in that first game. Awesome job by Lika.
Yeah, Lika did so well. It almost felt effortless, right? Just sometimes the tempais just come easily.
They did the Ipatsumo for Hanuman, though.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, effortless, you know?
I will say that the one thing that particularly impressed me from her play was, not even just that hand. The one before, there was an early Riichi, I believe from Goto, and Lika from Ishan 10 pushed some, not so safe tiles, but, had some reason to jam them, found a tempai, found the tsumo, and it wasn't an expensive hand, but that allowed her to retain her dealership for that Ipatsumo and the 18,000 points, and that's what blew the game open.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a skill that I'm not very good at, I think. Being able to play around a reach, or being able to play around a player you're pretty certain is going to close tempai, and still managing to stay in, even when it feels like the only way to get through is to push multiple unsafe tiles. I don't think she made too many huge risks. I think she played mostly safely, apart from what I remember seeing. And as you say, getting into tempai, even if it's just to shut down the other players, it's really good.
We have a saying about that. We have a saying about that at Sparrow's Nest. We say most tiles don't deal in.
What's this optimism, guys? There's no optimism in Mahjong.
I don't think there's a single weight you can be on where the majority of tiles will deal in. Most tiles don't deal in. Most tiles are fine.
I've definitely seen hands that have. I guess it could be like usually it's only about. Yeah, I suppose you can have like 5 or 6 sided weights, but that's not most tiles.
13 is like the biggest you're gonna get, and that's still like a little more than a third.
Yeah, the pessimist part of me is most tiles don't deal in, but that one there.
That's a good point.
This one specifically.
When you've got a reason to fight, and in her case, it was to maintain the dealership from a strong Ishantan.
Yeah.
That's you can justify trying it, and most of the times it will pass.
one of the easiest ways to defend is to win first, and being in the game is the only way to do that, really. So yeah, giving up entirely. I think Korak mentioned this a couple of streams ago. The EV for folding, I believe, is minus 1,300 if you're a non-dealer, and minus 1,800 if you're a dealer. If you just fold entirely, because you're going to lose points from no-ten, you're going to lose points from other players sumoing. And sometimes if you make a low EV play, it's better than that. It's better than just giving up entirely. So yeah, I do respect that, for sure. But yeah, I wonder if we're seeing the next.
I am looking forward to seeing Jenn play. I have great hopes. Again.
Yeah.
Jenn, don't let us down.
Yeah,
Win more points.
Please don't just
win
finish
more
your
points.
Chombo though. Don't do that.
Right.
That's one thing we won't do. I have to reply to chat on that one. But yeah, this is really fun. Who will be playing? For the
I think
next
we're
game,
passing
guys?
over that now.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
so.
let you
Nathanael
explain.
and
And
Yes.
we will have Jenn coming up next. Dave, it's going to be awesome to hear your voice for this upcoming game.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Any game that Jenn is in is a fun game.
Let's take a look at the players for this game. See Jenn there, also in the north seat for Team WRC. But in the first dealer seat, we have Miho Koike.
Miho Koike from Saki Nihon Pro Mahjong Association. 20 years as a pro. So very, very experienced.
And who else do we have going?
I've Fujita. Here we go. Currently in 76 plus 9.4 from JPML. First time playing in Yukan Fuji and started playing Mahjong at age 10. So also quite experienced. A lifetime of play. And we have in the west seat Miho Sakura, also JPML, appears in Mahjong Fight Club. So that's pretty cool. And manages the Rumi Aki channel. Super cool.
Oh, very good. Of course, Jenn, I believe, also appears in.
Jenn is in
as
Mahjong.
well.
I had to vote for her in Mahjong Fight Club. So she's.
I know some people in chat who have also been playing whenever there's that popularity contest. Get your votes in for Jenn.
Yeah, Mahjong Fight Club's a lot of fun. It's very it's a very intense
Mhm.
environment in Mahjong Fight Club.
We're going to have this intense environment in the Yukan Fuji Cup as well. Great start from Lika. And I wonder, if you're sitting in Jenn's seat coming into this game, are you thinking, wow, we had a great start, let's keep up the momentum? Or are you thinking, oh no, there's no way I could possibly match what just happened in game one?
Oh, hopefully psyched. I mean, that was such a huge outcome. It's super, super great for Team WRC. So I'm gonna project onto Jenn. We're gonna be psyched. We're gonna say, okay, we're gonna keep rolling forward and keep succeeding.
I think it's the same. You can't help, especially in a team contest, team competition, you can't help but be excited for your teammates and have that excitement carry over into the next game, your own game. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Let's see what we got.
Some intensity showing so far. Full concentration.
Okay, away we go with the first draws.
And Lika was in the north seat for the first game. Jenn will be in the north game for her game. Maybe that's the lucky seat.
I hope so. We always say there's usually a lucky seat in every game. Someone's just in the good seat.
Well, we've got 5 Pandora to start us off. That usually means that it'll be easy for players to incorporate the door into their hands. And we'll see if that holds true in this one.
Yeah, that's an aggressive Dora to see flip up, especially for a first hand.
One in Fujita's, Sakura's start. Jenn not holding on to one just yet, but has that connecting sixpence, so certainly can find a path to use the Dora. Dealer story with a lot of awkward shapes, penchant shapes 1, 2, and 8, 9s. Just slow building. Now, Fujita managed to pull in the 3-pin to fill one of those shapes immediately, so that's a great start for her. And there's the Dora for Jenn.
There's the Dora. All right. There's value, and out goes the West, but that gives her some added punch to this hand.
Pair found for the dealer. Still probably going to be a little bit of slow hand. And notice that Forso cut. She's really hedging all of the blocks. She wants to maximize the tile acceptance rather than maximize the shapes that she currently has.
We see two players have pairs of chuns there, so we have to figure out how long. Who's gonna break first in this showdown?
And for Fujita, she might end up using the chun as the pair, especially if she draws towards that 3-3-4-4 shape. Pair of dragons down for Jenn as well, so callable.
There, yeah. All right, we're switching from the one so to the two-mon pair over there. And here we have an interesting, like, Ipeiko opportunity.
A couple of them, actually. Like, there's a world where she even finds Gianpeiko.
Oh, don't tease me. Gianpeiko is so hard to make happen.
I don't know. I think she's one draw away from actually trying to commit for it. If we see a 2-mon or a 5-mon draw, I would cut the Sozu.
Yeah, probably. Oh my god, there's so much good material coming up. This might be time to get... No, we're just going to keep the 6, 7, 8. I'm like, that Hatsu is looking precarious.
Yeah, and I wonder if Jenn will even open with the Hatsu. She does have a backup pair in the form of the 3 pins. Riichi is so strong.
1-2 becomes 2-4. Everyone's just hanging out. Alright.
And of course, the big question on what's going to happen to the dragons. You noted the Chun Mochi Mochi situation paired up in 2 players' hands, so that's going to be slow to develop. And this Hatsu's been slow to come out until Sakura finds some improvement in the hand. It's unlikely that she'll want to discard that anytime soon.
Interesting. More pair. You're going to drop the 7-9 shape. I guess we're going to look at all simples here. Ugh. What an unpleasant thing to draw into this.
That's like the saddest door draw I've ever seen.
Yeah. Alright, we're going to blow up that 5-6. And now here comes the Hots. But Jenn lets it go, so she wants a closed hand. She wants to reach this.
Yeah, there's still another green dragon somewhere in the wall, so perhaps she'll call it the second one if it comes out, but she wants the value here.
And safety. Those 2 in her hand are now very, very safe if things go bad.
Yeah, that's also a good point. We are approaching the sort of second half of the game. You might want to have a little more defense. And sort of impressively, the dealer has managed to transform this hand into a Tanyao, something that she can call for using other players' discards.
Oh my word, okay. That 3 is a good... Okay, here's the last chance for Jenn to call, and she does. Alright, she's not going to just sit around. It's time to move.
2 away from Tenpai this late. She wants to increase her odds with an open hand. Oh.
Wow, okay, Chitoi.
Wasn't expecting that shift, but 1-pin Tenpai, Chitoi door 2.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Pretty expensive for a Dama, 6,400. 1-pin not a tile that's easily usable.
Would you reach it, though? I don't know.
Here, committed to the Dama. So. Maybe there's a tile she could draw in the future that she would consider slamming a Riichi for, but...
Possibly, maybe it's like a wind or something really exotic to just be, like, out.
Jenn finds the Tenpai.
2 Tenpai now. There we go.
2,000 points, staying away from that 6,400 deal and avoiding trouble and picking up some points at the same time. Very good start here for Jenn.
Yeah, snuck it out. Very nice.
We saw the
that Chitoi was crafty.
It was. It wasn't, I guess when you're thinking about building Gianpeiko, that means you've got a lot of pairs, and Gianpeiko is just like a more expensive Chitoi.
Oh. Yeah, it's big Chitoi. It's one of the powerful Chitois you can make.
I guess it's not too surprising that that hand did turn to Chitoi, but drawing Dora Dora, we thought the 5-pin was going to be maybe a liability in that hand, but it ended up being a nice pickup in the end after you paired it up. But Jenn steals it away, and Fujita will now have her dealership.
Yeah, a pair of Easts over there, which is not bad. This hand's got some good material, not bad at all.
Nice pin tiles for
not getting called, so we're going to let it go by.
I don't want to get a good look at Jenn's hand here. 7-pin door is hard to use here. The tiles are a little bit awkward. She's going to need some Nice draws. At least in the early going of this hand, you've got good floating tiles, so there's potential. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah. A bit of everyone's going real fast right now too. It's interesting. There's a lot of just material and potential flowing into hands.
Yeah, these pin tiles are slightly more awkward for dealer.
Yeah, a few too many pairs, a few too many constructions there.
She's going to float as many options to get off of all of these pairs as she can. It wouldn't be surprising if Fujita made the same move that the dealer made last hand, where you end up cutting a lot of your blocks and shifting into entirely different shapes by the end of the hand.
Okay, we're going to keep the 5, 6, 7, 8 to get wider shapes.
Oh, Sakura's hand has improved so much. Ishantet with the
Yeah,
East
those-
Algo.
Easts are beautiful in there. And now, yeah, keeping that 9 gives them a few ways to tempai.
But now look at this. That's a Chun pair up. And we saw in the last hand, that's how Jenn stole it away with a late dragon pair up, got the call, and found the tempai super late in the hand. Thinking a bit here because there's a chance that the 2-3-4 Sanchoku to be hedging
It's a
everything.
long chance. It's a long chance.
5 pin is close to the door as well, so it's a bit of maybe defensive thought as well. We can cut the 5 pin now because we have all the blocks that we need to build a hand. Could become a liability later on, but that does sacrifice the usage of the Dora, so this is really committal to cut this 5 pin so early.
Ooh, getting close to the Chiyu toy again. Look at that. There's an Ishanten on the right tile.
Ah, that's an improvement.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice.
Still 2-way.
Ooh, Ryanpeko rears its ugly head again.
Chat, we want to see it. We want to see it, Ryanpeko. Hopefully,
Yeah.
We prefer if Jenn got it, but it's still
Sakura's
exciting.
gonna push the
Still
tempo.
exciting. Yeah,
Ooh,
Ishanten for
but
Jenn.
here's
That's also
another-
exciting.
Yeah.
She could call as well. Chun still live. 1 discarded, I believe.
Oh, there's one of those 7s, and that's a reach.
Yeah, and that was
On
a
the
wait.
2, 5, 8 wait.
She thought was tempai at the 2 pin, said I could do better, held it for 1 turn, and got the ideal improvement. Drew the door, and now has 3-sided wait here.
And there we go. There we go.
Oh my goodness. Jun-chan
Ryanpeko tempai.
Ryanpeko, door 2.
Chun Ryanpeko.
That's
Please,
a Paimon.
just take it.
That's a
Just take
Paimon.
it. Thank you, and reach it, please. Please, just. I want this to happen because it's near and dear to my heart. I'm sorry, Jenn. You're wonderful. But in this very specific case,
Oh, the door.
oh, an extra Dora has to go through. Passes, but painful.
Oh my. And there's a sumo.
Oh, sumo for Jenn. Oh,
Runner
it
for
sneaks it out.
Sakura. As she
Oh,
will
no, so you're right.
defuse
Sakura,
the bomb.
Sakura. My bad.
East only, and the dealer's like, man, my 3-sided Riichi Pihudora doesn't realize Koike had something a little bit larger.
Monster.
Oh my goodness.
A monster. That was so cool.
Jen is gonna look back at this hand. She's gonna watch this video, and say,
It's
"Is that
always
what I
interesting
escaped?"
to look back on hands. Like when you're playing against people who are good players, and this happens, right? The hand ends, it's a little surprising, and like it's just like, okay, done. You know they had something going,
Yeah, you
So
see
it's
that
always
Dora.
interesting to look back and see.
In game, you'll remember that 7-pin cut and wonder what did they have? They had to be tempai for
Yeah.
something. Was it
And
really
you see
worth
like the
jamming the Dora?
truck that almost ran you over.
But well, that win by Sakura puts her into first place. Jenn does lose out there in a way, but also wins in a way. Avoided the dealer win and avoided the Baimon. So Team WC has to be pretty pleased with that outcome.
Yeah, seeing it all from above like this, that could have been a lot worse, and that's actually a fine outcome overall for the whole game.
Dora 6-mon, another central Dora. Fujita holding one of those. We'll leave this 9-mon just in case we draw the 7-mon, and then we can pair up the door and have 2 completed shapes. Well, a shape and a pair. Jenn, this is a really awkward hand. No Dora. And a lot of pairs. A lot of Kanchan shaped as well. 3, 5, 7, 9, I think, in the Sozu.
6 pairs up, which is alright with these shapes.
Yeah, now the 7-mon is exactly the draw that I was talking about, although since you paired up the 6 to begin with, you could just cut away from the 9-mon, 8-mon in the future and just work towards a Tateniu.
Nice fill for Jenn.
Good, with the East pair as the dealer in the East round, has a clear calling route.
Do we like this? Do we hate this? What do we do? You're right. So many pairs here. And not much. Yeah, it really only lets you move towards Itsu, and that's hard.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it and said, you know, she preferred the other shapes. It's a decent pull-in for the dealer. That does mean that the East has a slightly higher chance of being used as the pair in the hand, which is not ideal.
Jenn decides too many pairs. Time to get rid of that West.
Yeah, it chooses to hold the pair of the 9, so because it has the 7, so sort of additional acceptance, it's a slightly better pair than just the West in terms of the tiles that it can accept. Oh, or she just
triple
knew.
Up the 9.
Or she just knew that the 9 so was going to be her next draw.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Oh,
we got that 7.
7-mon comes out after we've cut the 9-8. This is still Ishanten, you know, dare I say, Diapeco? The shift is available once again.
No,
it's just 4 silver 5
don't do this to my heart.
Listen, every time I've
Diapeco.
called it, it hasn't happened, so.
It was so perfect.
Oh, okay. That's going to be the
We're going
improvement.
to do 4, 6, 8. That's good, yeah.
And you know, of course, the chance for 4, 5, 6 Sancho could definitely worth playing
Yeah,
for.
4, 5, 6 Sancho could be pretty great. Oh, we triple up that 2. Interesting. Do we look at the 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku here?
Surely.
Well, we have to get rid of something, so we do the thing that leaves that option open at least.
Yes, through the 1 pin. Wow, Dora 3 for Fujita.
Ooh.
Big chance for her. And, you know,
No one else is, like, quite fast enough right now. Like she just got the time to make it work.
Even if Jenn finds Tempai, it's going to be Riichi no Mi bad weight, so it's a real challenge for her to be able to justify fighting.
I might throw that Chun, but I don't know. Okay, we're going to cut the 2.
Decision here. Do you like the 3-mon acceptance or the 7-mon acceptance? Prefers the 7. And of course, this gives
okay,
you
3, 4, 5.
We want to keep the 6 in the middle of that 4, 6, 8 shape because we want to use the door at all costs.
And we like the Pinfu option, so we'll get rid of that clonked up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here we go.
That was a nice shift. Being able to use all those so tiles.
Yeah, but who? There's a 9. Okay, that might let us call the East if we want to. Pairing up the 1, which could get us. Okay. Back to Ishan 10.
And yeah, I really do like this move for Fujita. After seeing all the 1-mon discarded, cutting away from that 2-3 gives her a chance in this hand, but Koike will try to steal away with a Sanchoku snipe.
Yeah, it seems like we're intending to call that East. Or I guess Sanchoku, you're right, Sanchoku on its own would be valuable there.
Yeah, either way would be acceptable.
Ooh.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't really help.
Yeah, I think Jenn's also keeping defense in mind here, and maybe even willing to let this Sanchoku win.
Or Tempai on it. And if East comes out, we can switch around, which is actually pretty clever.
Yeah, we can get East and Sanchoku.
Yeah.
Of course, she won't know that it is paired up in Sakura's hand as well. Jenn will make the shift into Tateniu, still back to Ishan 10. And we've seen some very clever maneuvering here by these players, breaking away from blocks and finding the Tempai, or getting back to Ishan 10 almost immediately.
Here's a 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku Tempai. Here's another well, no, this is not Tenpai, sorry. Oh, it is. Tenpai on the door only, I'm sorry.
She will not take this Riichi, though. Not a good wait. And you're almost certain that other players are Tenpai as well. 5 mon for Sakura, 6 mon for Jenn, and 9 pin.
Oof,
Okay.
oof. Getting down to the end of it.
Dealer with his door 3, desperate to find, or rather, not dealer, but Fujita, desperate to find something.
Good. We're not gonna downgrade for no reason, which is probably good. Forso's being seen as risky, but Jenn throws it and it's fine.
Is willing to take the risk to try to get Ryukyoku points, and that's not going to do it. Fujita will have to find a save tile. That will be Ryukyoku 3-player Senpai.
Oof. Very, very interesting, this game. I feel like there's a lot of mutual respect here.
Yeah, these
Everyone
players,
is worried about each other.
I 100% agree. Dancing around each other's hands really well. It's like what you see in manga or something. You almost have perfect knowledge of what your opponent's doing, so you dance around it and draw into a different tempi. It's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's very, sometimes when you play, you can see people just kind of writing someone off, at least for that hand. Like they got nothing. Well, I'm just going to go. And I feel like everyone was very careful. No one was in that mode.
For Jenn, that was an ideal outcome. I mean, we didn't steal first place away here, but matching pace with the leaders.
Yeah, Fujita's the one who's in a bit of a hole. Not terrible, but like needs to get something going on at this point.
Definitely still early days. Sakura, having been Tenpai there, will retain her dealership. Door 6 pin again. Fujita has a pair. Sakura holding one as well, and that in the middle of a Yukan 4-6-8, you always want that door to be in the middle of that shape, so that no matter how you feel,
forming up for Jenn. Not sure if it's an ideal plan, but it is a flush.
Yeah, sometimes that's what your hand gives you, and Yakuhai Ponitsu, that's certainly enough to take over first place. That does mean that you can't use the door, and so I'm very curious to see if Jenn will draw something near the door, if she'll keep it. Holding on this Formon, apparently it was a good idea, because that'll shift us away from the flush ideas.
Yeah, I think the flush concept isn't as strong as like good block, which makes sense to me.
Well.
Oh wait, here it comes back.
Well, how committed are we to this good block? You can start with a dragon, but she will just fully commit. Says that Forso was the sign. If I'm gonna win this hand, it's gonna be with value.
All right, we're gonna drive ahead there.
Yeah, and here's that door connector. So trading off this 4-mon, 5-mon. If she draws a door, though, she might be willing to go back to a normal hand. Oh my.
Okay. Ishanten here.
Yeah, valuable Ishanten for Fujita.
Jenn has like flush Itsu East, maybe, like if it really goes all perfectly.
Yeah, we need to find something soon. That 3-so is the tricky draw for that hand. It could even have Itsu as well. And that is a 3-so. Jet snatches
Looks like she's just gonna do it.
A good thing too, because that was the last 3-so.
Unbeknownst to Jenn, there are no more available.
Oh, how about this?
An extra door. Well, you could still keep that Chun call in as a dream.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough choice here, because you have Sanchoku option. Yeah, I think giving it up is correct.
I wouldn't say it's wrong, but it again, that takes heart. You're gonna sit there throwing a door away. That takes heart.
Yes, she's got so much value already. She doesn't need the third one, but it's so hard to convince yourself to just drop a door like that.
Yeah, I mean both from your own sake and the sake that it's going to make everyone at the table look at you immediately
Oh, absolutely.
and be like, "What?" There's our 3-4-5 complete.
Okay, with maybe dreaming of 3-4-5 Sanchoku and Ipeko. That would be quite pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, finally a So tile.
Jenn's 9. All right.
And
And
now
now the Chun's gonna get grabbed, and
she's-
now we're just gonna finish this.
Yeah.
Okay. Chun door 2, not bad.
Jen's realizing why she hasn't been able to pull in these dragons. One Chun paired up, and if she ever cuts the Hatsu, that will also has a chance of being called. Doesn't quite do it. Oh, I like that from Jenn. Moving the 9 so a little bit towards the inside of the hand, so that when you, depending on how you call, or you can reveal less information.
Mm. Oh, there's a 7 mon.
This way, if an 8 so comes out, she can cheat.
Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just like this.
Oh, what's she gonna do? All right, Hat's gonna come out, and now it's at 8 so or the east.
And unfortunately, the 8 so did come out back to back, so there are no more 8s on the wall. It's just the east.
Oh my word, who has the east?
I think. Well, we found
There
one.
it is. But what do we think about it? Are we gonna get rid of it? Do we not care for it? We think it's too hot to handle at this point in the game.
Oh, Tsumo!
Oh, it's fine. She'll just draw it herself. Perfect.
Back to back in the wall, and Jenn will take it. And that means she's going to take first. That also has
Yes.
Itsu as well, so that's the full Mangan.
Yes, it's a big boost for Jenn right there. The first big blow of the game.
Team WRC.
But as a sumo,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say Team WRC in the early portion of the game has been doing very well. And now we're finally get to see Jenn's dealership. Now, Lika, on her turn, managed to pull in some huge hands. Will Jenn have the same opportunity?
Yeah, we'll have to see. But like, yeah, it's a sumo, which means the rest of the table is still kind of competitive against each other. One person hasn't been zonked into oblivion, but this does put Jenn in a commanding position for the table right now.
And notably with that sumo, she also ensured that the previous dealer, who was the previous first place, ate the Oyakabuji. So a little bit more taken from the former leader helps solidify Jenn's position. Unfortunately, this high pie for Jenn is slow. It's not what you want to open up to on your dealership. It does have the green dragon pair, so that is something. Oh, now the east pair.
It's got some oomph building up in it, so we'll see. But I think everyone else is going to want to see if they can hustle her off her dealership, because she just won a big pile of points, and they definitely don't want to sit around and let her win more, if they can help it.
Yeah, with that initial set of tiles, these are like the ideal draws.
Well, the East are paired up elsewhere, though, and so are that. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's been a consistent issue. The Yakuhai have just been, they've been competing for the same Yakuhai over and over again in these rounds. It's been slow going to be able to get those calls.
No, I'm sorry. Jenn has the East, and I don't see the East elsewhere.
Okay.
I just saw Jenn's hand because they were going real fast.
I did see a Hatsu in someone else's hand. Oh, wow, that's such an early Riichi.
Already reach. This is a strong reach, too.
Riichi Pihu Ipeko potentially on the 2 Mondora, so already one in hand. Is incredibly valuable. And what do you do if you're Jenn here? Forso is a fair push, but
it's the player who's in last too, which means like you might just bail. You might say it's fine, but if they sumo, all right, we're gonna hot, so we're gonna just see if we can.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a door drawn for Koike.
All right, we're gonna cut. Oof, a little risky. Okay, it looks like take the other hots. It's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Jenn to get into this. I mean, if she draws the east, then there'll be incentive to fight. But until then, I think she'll at least play fairly cautiously for the early portion of this defense.
There's 6, 7, 8 complete. Oh, what do we do here?
It is Ishantem. Not a whole lot in the way of defense without totally destroying your hand. You can 9-pin.
I feel like the 4-pin and 7-pin have to go. No, a block with 9-pin. Okay.
Okay, so this will play for the 9-pin, 8-pin cut. Still Ishanten. This is a huge opportunity for Koike. And Jenn is trying to survive here. Ishanten.
Kun is probably fine.
And I wonder if she draws into Chitoi Tenpai, if she'll just slam it for the 7 pairs.
I sure would.
I mean, as dealer, you can fight with a lot. Oh, but she does not like this Formon.
She's moving around it. She's moving around it.
And that's the great thing about 7 pairs hand. You can drop one of your pairs and pull it back later.
Oh, we got back up to 4, 5, 6, and then this is actually her hand like wants to live.
Yeah, might be able to transform into more of a standard hand. Again, the East is still missing. Saw Jenn pull in a triplet. The last hand, maybe she can do the same in this one. Also discards here. 5 mod. Again, Tell close to the Dora, Suchi to the Dora, so Sakura will still hold the C-shot.
Throw the 7 because it came out. Jenn's definitely in a defensive posture. I'm not going to say giving up, but definitely in a defensive posture.
Yeah, at this point of the hand, it might just be too far gone to try to fight. Sakura is probably the best chance to continue to take this challenge, but sorry, it's Fujita.
Okay. Keeping that Ishanten. It's hanging out with it.
Oh. Well, that's Tenpai with a Dora.
Actually, this is Tenpai. And we'll reach it. We'll just say forget it. Let's do it. We got 6-9 mon weight. That's pretty good. It's not bad at all.
And this big opportunity for Koike with 2 Dora is going to have to go to the wayside against 2 Riichis. She still can't find the win. Again, Jenn just in survival mode right now, hoping for Ryu Kyoku. Paying out 1,500 points is totally acceptable.
Oh yeah, just holding on right now would be great. It's not great. Oh, and here is what would have been a Tenpai.
The wall continues to want her to fight.
Oh.
Such a smooth discard. At that stage where
nothing looks good, and the East is now poison. You can't throw that.
Yeah, normally you'd think East is fine, but this late you haven't seen any. You're starting to wonder where they are. It's pretty likely that someone has a pair at this point. Oh, what's she gonna do? Goes with the 9 so. And it passes. Whew! Walked the tightrope and escaped. Made it to the other side safely. So Jenn will
really close.
1,500 points as well as Koike. But first place retained, and we'll go into the South rounds.
First half of the game action-packed. Jenn scoring a big sumo, and everyone else kind of dancing and fighting around the edges.
Yeah, there have been some big opportunities that have just gone by the wayside. Jenn is the only one who's been able to pull a big hand together. Scary times, says Chiral.
It is really scary times. It's rough.
So far, so good. 7 Mondora. And for our dealer, Koike, lots of pairs. Fortunately, we've got the 8-mon pair, not the 7-mon pair. Gonna be kind of tricky to make something out of this one. With 3 pairs, no immediate Tateniu, you could just go 9-9 and work your way that towards a Tateniu, but
Ooh, who's got our... Sakura has our dragons. Does Sakura want to run for it? I don't know.
in second place, there is certainly some incentive for her to call and move the dealership off of her closest competition.
Hmm.
See if she chooses to make that play in the future. It's a decent connector. We'll have to make some decisions soon in terms of which blocks to keep. For Jenn, lots of pairs
4,
again.
5. Yeah, it's a crowded field in her hand right now.
8-8-9-9 is a really awkward set of pairs to have, because even if you draw the continuation in the form of a 7, you still need another 7 to make your second block. So she might end up cutting
still
one of
unpleasant.
those in the future.
We got 2, 3, 4. All right, not bad.
Call at dealer is going to make that Tateniu shift. All symbols now. Seemed like a somewhat predictable path for that hand, given how weak it was in terms of being able to declare a Riichi.
Yeah, how do you make something out of it?
You almost just want to win a quick 1,500 points and refresh dealership.
Jenn having a bad feeling about that HOTS.
Yeah, or maybe, this hand is going to be really difficult. She's really relying on the door draw. Does she have a sense that the Great Dragon's paired up? I think it's the only one that hasn't come out so far, so... Oh, I guess it has come out once. I don't know. I know when you play online, sometimes you can get a sense that someone has passed the first dragon due to a little bit of lag on the tile. In person, sometimes you can tell that someone's thinking about calling it, even if they don't hesitate. Maybe there's a micro expression. You drop the dragon,
you can
they
see
quickly
someone's
look down
face.
at their hand. Oh, but there's
Yeah,
the
you can
Riichi.
sometimes get an idea. 2, 3, 4. All right. This is interesting. It's not Pinfu, but that's okay.
I'll play Chiral. It's Pinfo.
Pinfo.
I love that. I love that. And that's why you don't take the first calls. So, always. You wait for the second one, because you could just draw into Tempai in the meantime and slam a Riichi, and that's where the big points are usually.
Now everyone else has to think. They have to wonder.
Yeah, particularly the dealer who's already opened and is forcing a Tateniu here. Cutting the 3 so requires, at this point, a 4-pin. And Jenn, that 9-9-8-8 pair, those are safe tiles.
Yeah.
You can just back
We're
away.
just gonna spend those on safety.
And that seemed like the likely outcome for the hand. Perhaps, she held those with that in mind. They should generally be pretty safe. If the 8-pin passes, then the whole block should.
Got our easts.
Fujita trying to escape as well. It looks like it's just a 2-player battle. Dealer Koike and Sakura and Riichi.
6 is out.
Just holding 2 of the winners. 2-5 pin. 1 held here by the dealer. Ooh, do we swap? 3-pin, 5-pin gives you, better shapes. But maybe a little bit of danger. We'll go with the Sozu instead. And yeah, the Sozu certainly seems safer in general.
Go for 1, 3, 5 over there.
Jenn continuing the strong defense. Sakura wondering if there are any 2-5 pin in the wall. Finds one. Riichi, Sumo. Tora 1. No Ura?
No Ura, but a good take.
Yeah, 1,000, 2,000, plus Homba. And of course, collecting the Riichi sticks from the previous round as well, so that means that it's a really close battle now between Sakura and Jenn. They both have dealerships remaining. We will move to Fujita.
Yeah, this was going to be a tough time for the two of them, because now they're kind of in that zone where, like, Koike and Fujita are fighting in the low end, and Sakura and Jenn are fighting on the high end, and each pair has incentive to win, like, tiny, quick hands over each other, so you're not going to see the game slow down as a whole.
Fujita, her favorite Yaku is Riichi and Junshan. We saw that Junshan Baimon chance earlier.
Had a good shot at it.
Alright, Jenn opens up. Ooh, it's got the south pair. It's callable.
5, 6, 7. It's not bad.
There's a world where you can think about a value play with the Manzu Honitsu, the flush characters.
That's 5 pairs. That's an Ishan 10 Chitoi hand.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's more likely that Jenn will just be working towards a normal hand, especially given that she's holding a door 9 so.
Good feel for the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, what are we doing? We Chitoing this? We're going to turn this into something?
Oh,
Let's do it.
know
All
it.
right. Let's do it.
Green Dragon
Just
pair up.
Another. Everyone's got so many pairs. I think the 3-pin can go. Yeah, keep that 5, 6. See what happens.
Yeah, it's a mod tile, but I don't think this is any type of flush commit. Jenn needs to fill some of these awkward Kanchan shapes. We really need 8s. 8 mon, 8 so.
Oof. A lot of stuff just like stacked up in these hands. Like they're callable, but they're all on top of each other. Again, I feel like it's a common trait of hands this game.
And here we go.
Ooh, there we go. There's the reach on Chun.
Once cut honor, a classic weight. And now we really test the defensive metal of these players. Can they somehow read this? Well, Jenn finds Ishan then.
3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna go 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right.
Still Ishan then, but finds a safe way to try to play the hand.
Ooh. We get away with it. Chun is such a tricky weight here.
It is. Everyone's starting with, essentially Genputsu outside of. You can't
3,
south
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could south, maybe, or you could get rid of that 7, 9 and hope to just call the south. But the 7, 9 you don't want to get rid of. It's Dora. Right.
It's always so tricky to fight with the door, even if it is your worst shape. And it looks like Jenn wants to defend, so we're gonna see the stone wall of Jenn does never discarding anything that the player wants. Has been successful so far with her defense. It's been really good. But this is a tricky weight. It's the hardest weight that we've had to handle so far.
4, 6, 7, 7. We are Tenpai.
Oh, and she
Do we
might have
just
to
do
defend
it?
against a second Riichi now.
Do we do it? We do it. We do it. All right. Koike says it's time for one of them reach Pinfu businesses.
It's good weight. She's
Now
gonna
there's
slam
even
it.
More fight going on. All right, Jenn just takes it apart. I'm sorry, that's not Jenn. That's Sakura takes it apart. Takes us west apart.
Yeah, and for
Which
both
is not-
Sakura and Jenn, there's absolutely no incentive to deal into the players who are trailing. So there's almost a mini battle between the two of them. Who can defend better?
Yeah, this is just pure defense right now.
And it's almost like more like who gets unlucky enough to draw the Chun.
I was gonna say where?
it's
Oh, here we
Jenn.
go. Here's the
She
Chun.
drew
Jenn
it.
gets the Chun.
Okay, but she holds it for now. Can she hang on to it in the long term?
Can she hold it forever?
Yeah, against 2 Riichis,
That's the
it's
question.
pretty safe. Pin first, still surviving.
All right, everyone's just swooping around the table right now.
Sakura manages
Sakura.
force so. Uh-oh, Mandra.
Jenn is just like... that 9 pin's going to look suspicious because of the 8 pin discard to go into reach.
Finds the
But she's still
4
looking
mod.
for safety.
That's going to deal
But that's
into
it.
Koike. Safe against the dealer at least, and so...
That last Chun was the Uradora.
Okay. And you know what? That in regards to the defense, you'd much rather deal into the cheap 2,000 points rather than
Yes.
the dealer Chitoi bomb.
Yeah, because that would have been... Both the Hakus in that Chito would have become Ura.
Oh
Would have
my.
been big.
Yeah, 12,000 points.
If not on Sumo, it would have been 18. It would have been really big.
Absolutely. And so go into South 3, a critical round now. Sakura in the dealer seat. Jenn holding on to a 100-point
Up
lead.
by 100.
Can she hang on to the end? First, we have to get past Sakura's dealership. And oh my, this is another good hand for Fujita. She's had a lot of great hands
Yeah.
that just haven't won.
It's a very callable hand.
Mm.
But it's been hard, I feel like, for people to call. I feel like honor tiles and things that typically come out early, people have not been getting rid of. They've been really holding them.
So early Bansu cut backfire there. Sakura has 2 Dora, but the hand needs help. There's the draw Jenn was looking for.
All right. Back to that flush Itsu.
Yeah, and if it just turns into Itsu, that's totally fine as
There's a
well.
good fill. Ooh.
Well, there's another Mon tile. Oh, and wow, the 2-pin cut.
Keep that 4-so. All right.
Yeah, Sozu Itsu Honitsu was the value plan for Jenn. That got her into first place to begin with. Maybe she can find a repeat performance.
I mean, if you're good at something, keep doing it.
Yeah, hopefully the draws cooperate as they did.
All right, each on 10 there. Ooh, all right. Another 7 mon.
So another So-fill.
2-so, another so.
At this point, it could be Chinitsu. How about a Mongon to pull ahead?
It could be. It could be. Hots gets grabbed. Okay.
Yeah, this is a little bit awkward for Fujita because she is looking for more than just 2,000 points. Even if she gets a Dora to accompany 2 Yakuhai calls, she still will probably be behind going into all last. And so, calling is not really where she wanted to be, but I think she feels forced into making that play with the way that the timing has gone in the hand. Oh, look at that, another So tile. It's starting to
Ooh.
come together.
Yeah, everything's coming up so's.
Oh, but this is a Tempai. It's a weird one.
That is Tempai. The question is, what do you do with it? Because there's not enough value here.
Okay, we'll hold a Dama.
Sananko's really is not doable right now.
Mm-mm.
Oh, we have... What is this push? What an odd push. I guess we're going towards Tanya. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah, that's a... I'm dealer. I've got Dora too. We're making a Tanyao. You can't stop me. We saw this earlier from Koike. Although without the Dora too, even.
Hmm.
Very, very common play when you're the dealer and you want to desperately repeat.
It's north is interesting.
It's awkward. Every discard you have to wonder, should I be slamming a Riichi?
Yeah, like, is this right? If I'm doming, what am I waiting for?
That's one of the benefits to just taking the Riichi to begin with, because then you don't have to make any more decisions.
Yeah, you made the call. Like, you can look back, but it's done.
You
It's
save
done.
yourself some mental work.
South?
Oh, I
We're gonna
wonder,
take it.
Z Carver, I wonder what tile that could be. Will this 5-so come out?
Are we gonna take the 4? 3, 4, 5. Okay.
And to pin first. Oh, but there's the East.
All right.
Shut down for Jenn.
East Shanten, as they say.
Fujita has
All
got
right.
the Tempai, and oh, there's a Sotal. And Sotals are so bad, it's pretty apparent what Jenn is doing. She's not really hiding it at all.
No, it's a very clear flush. But what do we get here? No.
Fujita will jam the 6-0. Sakura holds on to that 5-0.
All right.
Oh, Tempai.
Tempai on the 6. All right, we got somewhere.
And Jenn has continued to Tsumokiri here, so players will know that the 6-0 is still safe to her. They may not
Interesting.
realize that it deals into the
Don't
dealer
take the
pile.
Tempai. East. Jenn lets it go. Okay.
Wow, Jenn
She
letting
wants
it pass.
flexibility. She wants flexibility, I feel like. I feel like she wants to reach this, or she wants to but it's so late.
Yeah, I mean, if you
So
win
late.
a Riichi here, that's like hitting a home run. Maybe actually just some concern about the 2-0, but
7. Jenn takes it.
will she take the Tempai? Surely this late she does. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now we got East and 9.
And notably, the East passed, so it should only deal into a Tanki here, if you're thinking from the perspective of the other players.
Well, if it isn't Dora Town, USA.
A little bit of regret there from Sakura not taking the Shaba weight, but of course the 5-0 is a really dangerous tile to try. She would have gotten that draw if Jenn hadn't gotten the Chi, so it's a big value though if the 5-0.
Yeah, if this connects, this is huge.
Now, luckily for Jenn, she never will cut the 5-0. It's just completely locked away.
No. So the 5 is dead, but no one knows. But not even Jenn. She doesn't know there's not one more out there.
Oh, and after a 2-0 cut from Jenn, this 3-0 is a little suspicious, but she'll try it, and it passes. And it goes to Ryukyoku.
Oof.
Wow,
More
big hand got
just sitting
exciting.
there. Big hands just sitting there, ready to go. But again, everyone very a huge amount of respect for all the other players at the table, just being really careful how they play.
Yeah, it's so frequently, when it goes to these Ryukyoku situations, Jenn is one of the players' Tempai. These 3-player Tempais, it's actually a really big swing for Koike, who now has to worry about Fujita catching up. But Sakura...
Yeah, it's a meaningful amount of points if you're the only one out.
You lose 3,000 points, they gain 1,000 points. So it's like you lost 4,000 points to each of the other 3 players at the same time. At least that's what the net swing is. And the tension continues. Sakura holds the dealership. Jenn still wants to find that explosive.
100 points out. South is Adora this time, which is a bit less easily usable.
Pikachu type shapes for Jenn. That's a classic. A super strong game plan here.
Let's see, we got a 1.
Sakura will play all the blocks. If you were a player at this table, how are you feeling about the South being Dora?
I hate it. Because the thing is, given that South is like Yakuhai, it means that in this hand, which I think every player at the table has something they need to do this hand, but it's possible for someone to just pong and immediately drop a bomb on the whole table.
Yeah, I'm only happy if I have a pair of South in my hand. Even if I have a singleton, I'm not even thrilled.
Yeah,
because I feel like it just has to stay in my hand forever, and that might mean I never get Tempai.
Sometimes I'll throw it real early, even, which is not necessarily the wisest move, but it just gets it out.
Oh well,
We
speaking
fill the
of
1, 2, 3. That's actually really good. This is actually Tempai, and we're going to reach right on that South.
yeah, there it is. Not taking the wider weight, taking the value weight, and from last place, Fujita wants to find that south. Now, from Jenn's perspective, if a tsumo happens, that's not the end of the world because Sakura will be paying out more points, and so Jenn will be able to retain the lead. But we're in that awkward spot where once again Jenn is incentivized to defend, and she's been doing a great job of it so far. Either not dealing in or finding the inexpensive hand to deal into. But she is close to Tenpai, and winning this hand could solidify her first place going into all last.
South weight is just dastardly. I'm just looking at it being like, oh, you. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we think?
It's a really wide shape. With the early 5-pin cut, you could try to play the 7-pin. And the 1-pin cut there from Jenn sort of indicates to me that she wants to play this hand.
I think so, yeah. Okay, we're gonna get rid of 8 pins of the structure. Oh no, the 1 pin comes back and it's gone. 9 pin. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. All right.
With this 8, so it does not help. So I'm gonna go 5-pin first and then see what happens. We do need a pair, so we could grab the 8. So, well, nope. Looking at this hand, we cannot grab the 8. So,
no, it's all occupied. 6. Okay, we got the 6s as a pair.
Okay, well, that's an alternate candidate for your pair. It's almost like she knew holding on to that so early, but 4-7, a little bit too hard to jam, so she'll play the 2-pin instead. Try to dance around a little bit more. 8 so becomes Suji, so maybe there's some hope.
We're just taking stuff apart. We're having a tough time.
Yeah, and one of the other considerations that you have to make in Jenn's seat is what is the dealer doing? Is the dealer fighting or folding as well? Because if the dealer folds and you fold, then you'll have the advantage going into all last, albeit the thinnest of margins, but that can count for something.
Oof, just a long time to spend in Riichi hanging out. But what do you do?
Yeah, this game has been really fast because there haven't really been any repeats. Well, I guess there have been some Gyukyoku repeats, but nobody's been winning the hand, and there have been all these early Riichis that involve a lot of defense afterwards. And the players have been folding very well. No one's going to drop a door in this scenario. So can Fujita find the tsumo? There are 2 left in the wall, right?
There should be.
Getting close to the end of the hand here. Oh,
Yeah, there's another south. And now the 2 of the remaining souths are trapped.
yeah. Whenever you pair up that south, your brain instantly flips a switch to fight mode. You're like, hang on a second, can I actually win this hand? And I think it might be a little bit too far, but if there are a couple perfect draws for Koike, there could be a chance. Oh, well, that is Ishan then.
It's a scary hand with such a fast early reach. Sakura's Tenpai. Jenn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right.
Dama.
All right, we're going to be Tenpai on south or 6. We're going to Dama it.
Oh no, she draws the south and she can never hold that or discard that, so she's gonna have to break the Tenpai.
It's death. It's death to the hand.
That's gonna save Jenn. Jenn was gonna have to pay out as the only player not Tenpai, but yeah, there's a nod of confirmation and she realizes that the south would have dealt into 2 hands.
Yeah, now it's 15-15, but that's okay. And both of the high players go down equally. So Jenn goes into that last hand plus 100 on first place.
So,
oh my god, the drama.
In this situation, any tsumo is going to drop Jenn below Sakura. So And any win by Sakura will put Jenn into at least second place, no more than second place. And that means that, in most situations where this game ends, Jenn will not be first place. However, there is some hope. If Fujita is aiming to escape last and take third place over from Koike, she could directly hit Sakura or Koike and make, a play that doesn't grab first place, but dodges last. And that's like the one scenario where Jenn manages to maintain the lead without winning the hand. But if you're in this spot and all last, you kind of understand that if you're going to maintain first place, it almost certainly has to come by you winning this hand and repeating.
Yeah, it's tough. Like if Jenn has a material for it and her hand looked pretty okay, just winning a fast one-on hand is probably a good idea here almost. Like reset the table to a state that's not so dire for you if you have the material for it.
Yeah, the only other world is if, say, Fujita makes a Riichi and everyone folds away.
Not a bad start for Jenn.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm liking that high pie. Looks like Fujita with maybe a Kokushi attempt. That's a great...
5-6, good, good.
We can think about 5, 6, 7. We can think about Tateniu Pinfu.
3, 4, 5, Phil. This is also, is this Tenpai already?
That'd be super fast from Koike.
Let me take a peek next time we come around, because I'm pretty sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, Koike. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yes, that's Dama on the 3. Not worth reaching. You probably want a better weight.
Yeah, so what Koike is thinking here is, if I monk on Sumo, I get first.
Right, right. Oh my god. But that means if there's a sad sumo situation, Jen's gonna get zonked.
Yeah, now if she draws the 3 mon, I suspect she will Fujita Riichi, 3-sided waiting for the 2-5-8 mon.
Oh, and Jen's looking for the 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku.
Okay, call from Fujita, interesting. Sakura's got such an expensive hand. But Jenn having drawn this Dora, it's almost like just a weight in the hand. A lead weight holding it back. You don't really want to drop it.
It's really hard when you get those tiles. Yeah, you don't want to throw them away, especially when you're like, this could be value, this could be long-term value. But it's just gonna weigh you down. Oh my god, we're getting towards Chitoi here.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup for Sakura, because that also allows her to play more easily towards Tateniu.
That 3 gets grabbed. We are looking at playing towards Tateniu really hard. Sakura just wants to be done. Everyone just wants to be done. They're just grabbing tiles like crazy.
Yeah, this is really interesting for Fujita because she doesn't really have the value yet to take over. But if you're sitting in Jen's seats, you're thinking there must be value to back it up. Maybe it's Dora. And speaking
there
of
we
Dora,
go. We'll take the Dora draw to get the 3-sided weight. So now we're waiting on 3, 6, 9 for a reach pin for Dora, which is 3. With a sumo, that could be Mangan with a flip.
Yeah, perhaps the best hope for Jenn here is to give Sakura Tenpai and have Sakura drop the 6-mon. The best play might be to cut the door right here.
Oh, Lord. It's dangerous as heck.
You
playing ahead.
Never do that in a million years, but that could actually be her best chance to escape here. 369 is such good odds for Tsumo. Fujita deals in, though. Jenn would be saved. She is holding a 9-mon.
South, all right. Oh no, it looks like Jen's just walking away right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some outs. Fujita has opened up so many times that she might not be able to defend so easily. Sakura certainly wants to fight for this as well. Dropping down to third is one thing, but first place is such a huge boon that Sakura would almost certainly fight for this.
Oh man. It is tense. There's a 9, I think, is what Jenn has drawn.
If Koike finds the sumo.
6. Yeah, Jenn holds a dangerous tile. Good hold.
Okay, not holding the wide acceptance here.
Oh man.
Dora.
3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dora comes out and passes the reach.
Sakura
Don't
really
change your mind. Okay,
take
yeah.
this fight.
Oh my word, this is really tense.
Oh, this is so close. 3-mon, 4-mon, I believe. Or rather 2-5. 2-5 mon. Wait.
Yeah, it's 2-5.
And 2-5 has been cleared to the Riichi. So could see it come out easily. It's a chun. Right, so tough choice here for Fujita.
Every tile looks bad.
Yeah, just throws the draw right back out.
But you are in last. It's like you got to do something. You can't just bail. But this is gonna be bad times for Jenn if she can't get Tempai here, and I don't think she can without throwing in.
Another Manzu. Hope we did at least get pulled in the Dora. Jenn still hanging on to those deal-in tiles. Once again, 3-6-9, the only Manzu in her hand.
Just too much danger. Oh wow, the other 9. Look at all these 9s coming in.
Fujita's out, and now we're getting to the end. Jenn probably going to be in big trouble here because if Sakura can maintain the Tempai just by Ryukyoku payments alone. So if no one deals in, Sakura needs to pass one more tile here. 8-so will pass. I think there's one more for each player. No, that's it.
Oh no.
So true.
Oh. Well, could be a lot worse. It's a first place, out of first place for Jenn, but only by a little bit. Still a second place. Not bad.
Yeah, we're going to see a 9.3 point total there for Jenn. Sakura will take the first place with a 42.2. What intense all last. You know, the most likely scenario I felt in that situation was Koike finding the Salmon-chan Tsumo and giving herself a chance with an Ura would have been enough for first.
Right, and that would have pulled Jenn down to third.
It would, yes. So Jenn dodges the most likely scenario and even dodged Sakura winning that hand, but could not escape the Ryukyoku in the end, and that will be a second place, a positive result for Team WRC regardless.
Yeah, still a win. And honestly, like at that point, with so many dangerous tiles in hand, I don't think there's anything you can do but just stay out of the way once you stop getting the wind in your sails.
Yeah, I imagine if you look at your discard pond and like try to put the tiles back in your hand while keeping all the deal-in tiles, you just not Tempai anyway, even if you had perfect foresight. So that was an incredibly tense situation at the end, but congratulations to Jenn for the positive finish, and that will continue to raise up Team WRC in the standings.
But overall, that was like a really intense, hard-fought battle between all players. Like that was a really excellent game, I think, overall.
Absolutely. We noted, especially early on, hey Jenn, we noted early on that it seemed like you were dancing around each other, like you could see each other's hand and just playing around it perfectly.
I don't know. I mean, I was really concentrating in the moment, so it's really hard to remember. But you know, like when you watch a movie for a second or third time, and you're like, surely this time they'll avoid getting eaten by the dinosaur, right? And so I was hoping that I wouldn't deal into that 2000 the second time I watched it, but I still did.
Yeah, that. You know, but there were two Tempais there. There's of course the Riichi, the first Riichi that you're defending against, the dealer Riichi, and that's of course the scary one. And you did draw the deal in Shun, so well played to hold that. I don't think I would have been able to escape that. I think I would have dropped the Chun and dealt into 12k.
I might have dropped it.
The discard for her discard really looked like it was all pairs to me. So
you were reading the hand perfectly.
Yeah. The value tiles, but I'm not sure. I mean, I think there were a lot of hands I would have pushed harder with if they were faster. But my hands were always 2 or 3 away by the time I was able to push I was never tenpai in a spot where I could push, so I ended up not doing much. I was pretty happy with that Hoitsu though.
Oh,
That was nice.
absolutely. Finding the Itsu as well, that was great to make it a Mangan.
Yeah, I'm glad that you noticed that I moved my tiles for the call as well.
Yeah, it was very crafty. It was good.
Yeah, the second one I could have pawned the east for tenpai there. It was just so cheap if I called. I wasn't sure.
Was that South 3?
I
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like there was a
Um,
decision made. Like the East didn't come, and then it was like,
yeah.
I guess, you know.
Yeah, I did think about calling it, but I just thought that it didn't feel like enough to push with a call to get like a tenpai at the end.
And did you have some concern about the Tuso?
Not a lot.
But if you call that
I mean, I ended
and
up
draw something
discarding it
bad,
anyway.
then
Yeah, I mean, I ended up calling for tenpai anyway, so it wasn't. But I thought maybe I would have time to get at least tenpai without calling tiles.
it's certainly
And
that.
if I didn't, I was okay with not getting tenpai. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And then I took the last chance at tenpai.
if you got the closed hand, that certainly would have been enough to feel at least decently comfortable going to last. 100 points. What ended up happening, 100 points going to all last. It's such a tight situation. I was thinking that you basically have to play for the win at that point.
Yeah, it's really worse being dealer in that situation than being the non-dealer in that situation. Like being in Sakura's position is a little bit easier to navigate than being in first place and the last dealer ahead by only 100 points.
In
That
the
makes
end,
sense.
there's such an early Riichi. There wasn't much to do from that point.
And
we'll play
I'm
to
really
Sakura
good
as
at
well.
collecting. Yeah, I'm really good at collecting dealing tiles.
We saw at the end, you're
It's
just
like a hobby.
the only Manzu that you were holding were the ones that dealt in.
Yeah, there was no way to. I mean, I guess there's an argument that if she had won 8,000 from Fujita, then I would also drop into third place or second place. If she had won, if she had drawn Mangan, I would drop into third place. If she won from Fujita, I'd be in second place. There was an argument for pushing, because even if I deal in, I'll be third, and if I don't deal in, there's a good chance I'll be third. But what I was thinking at that time is that I don't know for sure if Sakura's going to be tenpai. She looked tenpai, but I wasn't sure if she would have to drop her tenpai like she did the hand before. There's a chance that she would have to drop the tenpai before the hand ended against the reach. Or she could deal into the reach.
Yeah, that's a
which would
good
be
point as
fine.
well, because if she's trying to maintain the
Yeah.
tempai, it even went so far as to push the Dora that maybe she just deals in before the end of the hand, and then you're really saved.
Yeah, so, and I don't know exactly what the reach was waiting for. I didn't know that she had as good of a weight as she did. For all I know, it was like, some, a hell weight or something.
Right.
Right,
So-
right. It could have been something tiny.
Yeah, so I reasoned to myself that it was fine to just not deal in at that point.
It was a valid decision.
Great to hear the behind the scenes thoughts of the players themselves. And congratulations on the second place.
I was waiting for Korak to grill me because he mentioned that yesterday.
Oh, well, funny story. So I think there were a few things that jumped out at you. I think the obvious one's one you already covered, which was that South 3 passing the East. There were only a few draws left. I wouldn't even taken half a second to make that call.
Yeah.
Just for the Tempai. You did have a Yaku. If you won, it's like, yeah, it's just 2 Han. But giving up Tenpai payments there is really bad with the positional play. I don't think there was too much you could do in South 4. Maybe hide your hard folding a little bit better, because then you might actually get a fold from your competition, but that's very subjective and hard to pull off for the situation. There was a different question I had in the earlier hand. You said some floaters, this is very early, I think in East 2, where you cut you had a 2-pin, a 5-pin, and a Hatsu floater, and you cut the 5 going for 2, 3, 4 Sanshiku. Was that just because you knew Nathanael was going to be commentating the stream?
Well, you do know I love
did
it.
schedule the commentators. No, actually, in that situation, what I was thinking is that just going for efficiency was going to be really cheap at that point, and it was still going to be really slow, so I was going to just keep the materials for a more expensive hand, and if I could Tenpai, then I would, otherwise I would keep the safe tiles. So it was kind of a Katsumata type of thinking. That's what I was trying to muse. I don't know what the word for it.
No, I just throw in the Hatsu. I didn't think
Katsumata.
it was like the worst discard, but it definitely jumped out as a wait a second. There's some memes involved here.
Oh, I definitely
There were, of course,
appreciated
someone
it.
using 3 Sochis, so we have to give you a little bit on that. Just overall, I felt you were very defensive, maybe a little more aggressive than the rest of the table, but I thought, if anything, you were a little too
I
scared.
definitely played more defensive than I usually play. You've watched me in Armel. I definitely don't usually
Right.
play that defensive. Yeah.
And that game ended up coming down to Tenpai payments in what? 6 different hands, basically?
Yeah, it was definitely a
Yeah.
very, like, as I said, like a very respectful game, because I felt like everyone was being defensive against everyone. It wasn't like, I feel like in some games you find someone's just dominating and everyone gets out of their way, but this was very much everyone keeping their side eyes on
Everyone
each
seemed to
other.
be matching the vibe that the rest of the table was putting off.
Yeah.
Another thing is Sakura has a really strong presence. Like this was my 3rd game against her. I played with her in the last session as well, 2 games, and she plays very aggressively, and she also just like feels aggressive. You know, like her presence does. Yeah, it's very different than playing online, and also. I think like I've been concentrating a lot better, so maybe I've been a little bit overcorrecting as well. So, but it's a journey. So I was not too unpleased with the results.
Oh, yeah,
We're still
absolutely.
positive, and if you look at the scores and on the overlay, we're like everyone is very close to 0. We almost all have the same scores. I think the positive is like plus 15, and the negative is like minus 10.
2 games in, you've basically wiped the deficit that Team WC opened up with, which was something like minus 69 in the negatives, and now everyone's at 0. So this last game will then determine, who jumps ahead. Because first place is such a big deal, you get the bonus points, the O Cup points. Whoever gets first place in this game will be in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually Miho is very defensive player. So it should be a really fun game to watch. Yep. So I'll let you to it. There's an interview or a report from the team at the end, so don't go away if you're watching. And yeah, thank you everybody. I appreciate it.
Thanks for hopping in, Jenn.
Oh, thanks very much.
And thanks to you, Dave, for hopping in on the commentary. Always excellent to do commentary with you.
Always a pleasure to do. I mean, both of you are here. Everyone I've commented with is wonderful. It's always a pleasure to comment with you too.
Very good. Well, we have one more game remaining, and it will be Korak and I taking us home with the 3rd game.
Okay, then best of luck, guys. I am off to Sparrow's Nest actually, so.
Very good. Get all that prep. I know there's a lot of stuff that's going on at Sparrow's Nest, so thank you for all your hard work.
No,
Yeah,
my
I see
pleasure.
that JPML logo there on the screen there. So, best of luck. Take care of that, and we're going to go ahead and jump into Game 3.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the players. We, of course, mentioned that Miho was going to be representing Team WRC, and what do you know? She's sitting in the North seat. It's been North seat for all 3 games for WRC, and we've gotten positive results in the first 2, so hopefully we can carry that on all the way through. Let's see, for the remaining players, in the dealer seat, we'll have Chiyu Misaki from on Team Cafe Beyond, an NPM player. In the south seat, Yusa Ogura for Team Angel from RMU. In the west seat, Ruri Kimura for Team Kamekitazawa from SPM. And of course, Miho is a JPML player representing Team WRC. And in a second, we'll be able to hop into this game. There it is. Let's go.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Team WRC here has had a first and a reasonable second, so they've basically wiped out the hole they'd come into the game on. So we're going to see who can really take control of this group with this game. This is a really important match.
Absolutely, and we're going to be cheering Miho on. There she is, with the Korean flag on her sleeve. WRC, an international team. Jenn is from the US, Lika from China, and Miho from Korea, South Korea.
All right, we see a nice dealer hand here. 8-mon would really help, but the shapes are great. Possible Itsu, maybe a couple of Peiko shifts. Speaking of Itsu, a Pinzu looking really good here. Also has a nice little 4-5 Ryaman and the floating 6-so. The 7 connects to the 8. Kind of loose, but not a bad hand overall. We see an Anko of 1-mon, a pair, completed shape. The hands are all above average at this point. Hatsu is the Dora here, so it will eventually show up on the screen. We see 1 here in this hand. Also has the West pair, planning to call that probably. The question is, you go to Artanki. Chun is just a floater. We'll hold it, of course, with the Akwai over the 1-so. And speaking of 1-so, a second bird tossed.
Yeah, for Miho, this probably not the value she's hoping for, but at least it can turn into a speedy Riichi.
Oh, and just the hands are always stuck in this situation. When you have that Yakuhai Dora otter, the question is who throws the first one to the 7-so pair up, so that hand getting closer as well.
Yeah, and having drawn the Dora, Miho could consider trying to Tanki on that. We saw that earlier in the first game with a Chun Tanki that turned into a Hanemon. And wow, what are you going to do with all 4 of these 1-mon?
I see the 4-1-mon. You're not going to con that at least immediately, because you would like to accept the 2-mon and just have Anko in a completed run. 4-pin, well, that's just Itsu now. It doesn't have to be, but it almost always is. 6-mon's a pretty good floater. Interesting choice here. Could throw the Dora, could throw 7-pin. We'll go ahead and cut the 2, figuring that the pair needs to be locked in.
Yeah, that does make the Dora interesting, because if we pair that up, then we probably will end up cutting like the 3-mon and calling the 1-mon. It depends on whether we get the 2 or not, but
yeah, and you're just floating it for now. You're not expecting to keep the 1-1-1-1-3 shape forever. 5's nice little pair up, improves the shape a little bit. East doesn't really do anything, and there goes the 3. Not going to con just yet, because the hand's still fairly far away. You don't want to con and then immediately have someone reach you behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have the feeling that you're behind in the hand in this spot, but if you do get some great draws, then you will want to be able to play.
And you probably a little bit behind in the hand, but not as much as you'd think given the situation. The 7-mon's an interesting option. You can just cut the 9 and sell out for the tiny, and let's go to the play here. The only really sad draw you get is if you get the 9-so fill on that Ryanman. 2-so doesn't really do anything, especially having cut the 3 the previous turn. We see the North can hold as a safe tile, but will come out.
Yeah, really just a waiting lobby for the Green Dragon. 2 players hoping to pair that up, and the rest are hoping to just never see it.
Interesting here, and yeah, just goes ahead and cuts the 8. So the interesting thing about that 3 is it's going to effectively create a 2-3 round map. We know where all the 1s are.
Oh, that's true. Sort of preventing that from completing.
Slightly increases this shape, but it's really hard to use everything. Everyone in this hand should feel they're in a decent chance of being behind. Because these hands started out reasonable and just haven't really budged. There's been some lateral movement, but not much forward. That 6-mon really helps, though.
I think it's really telling how many pairs have been drawn. Now, that's a sign that the hands are building in a slow fashion.
Yeah, the Itsu looking to be by far the best hand, but still stuck in Ishan 10. Oh, for Pinanko, you could just con here and see what happens.
You are Ishan 10, and there it is.
There it is. We're to see it. Remember, that's also 32 Fu, so the equivalent of a Han by itself. Door is flipped immediately. It is the 1 pin. Doesn't really fit. The 3, of course, is pretty useless. Already threw it and con the 1s. We're going to see a pawn here, just trying to make something out of this hand. Shut down the con. Yeah. 1 pin pair. You can't just cut the 4-5 here and go for Chinitsu.
Ooh. That's the value
That's
play.
going to be the play. You have 2 Dora. You have easy way to 3. Just could even get the 6 on from having it closed. That is a monster hand developing.
Yeah, these hands were slow for a little bit, but they are speeding up now.
It only takes a couple draws to really improve hands like this. 9 pin doesn't do much. Out it goes. Oh, that is a Pinzu. It is a 7. That is not Tempai, I don't believe.
Yeah, it's not
but
the
it's
best
a
one.
Huge Ishan 10.
There's worlds to shift into like a toy in the future.
That is Ishan. That is Tempai. We'll just Dora Tonki Riichi. Remember, has the con here. So this is Mongon.
Riichi Dora 2.
Oh, there's the Dora draw on the Apatsu turn.
Oh, that shuts down this hand. There's no way you can cut that.
The question is, what else are you cutting? Maybe 6 mon?
And if you can't decide what you're going to cut, maybe you just jam and hope it's not the Dora. No, okay, she's...
Yeah, it is the 6 mon. Goes with it.
Yeah, that does give up the hand, so... Starting with a Genbutsu means that dealer will not be able to fight, and also she'll have to defend with, fewer tiles in hand. It's a real challenge.
Now you see the Forso being kept. Would like the 1-2 Shumpo, but the 1s are dead and the 2s are now 1s cut, so not even that great a shape. Didn't want to throw the Apatsu tile there, especially with a con and 2 Ura indicators.
Team WRC fans praying that last Dora, the last Hatsu, is in the live portion of the wall, and that Miho finds it. 3 pin.
Oh, that'd be an amazing way, but can't complain about taking the Dora Tonki.
Oh, absolutely not. It would be such...
It really doesn't do much. Now we see if this is going to be a fold, and that's not a hard fold, but that's a probably fold type cut.
Yeah, winning a Mongon here would be such a great start for Miho.
And Haku was safe last turn, still safe. And now just gonna throw the 6, it had already been cleared. West has already been cleared here, but so's Chun, so out it goes. It really feels like it's very simple. Do you draw the Hatsu or not? Everyone else more or less folding. Yeah. Would love to get back in, but seems unlikely.
You'll have one more crack at it. That's likely going to end us in... Oh, there it is, the Hatsu.
Ooh, interesting. That missed it by 1. It was in the wall, right?
It was close. And so Misaki will give up her dealership. Miho takes 2,000, a net 2,000 points, 1,000 from everyone. The Riichi stick will be left in the center of the table for Ogura.
And everyone leans in there, especially Kimura, to see, wait, was that really a Dorataki? Yes, it was. I guess that was Ogura, but ooh, scary if that got sumoed for the rest of the table. Instead, just a 3,000 point lead, and Ogura will be the dealer here in East 2.
Ogura actually didn't play a lot of Mahjong until the pandemic, and then she started playing a lot of Mahjong online, and she actually took the protest during that time. She's an office worker and a cosplayer.
Also has a pretty good hand there. Potential Reach Pinfu Tanyo Dora. This hand a little bit worse. Bunch of Kanchans. This hand looking pretty good, especially the 3-so. You're not connected to a Ryanman. Great shape. The weakest one's probably that Ryankan 4-6-8 mon. And if that's your weakest shape, you're feeling very good. Bunch of honors to get rid of here. 3 mon loosely connects, possibly Peiko upgrade in lower Monzu. The 8-mon pair up, so that moves forward, but not by much because you're not really thrilled with those shapes. We're going to see the Haku kept here, maybe going for the option to go Honitsu later in Sozu. 5-so connects nicely to the 4, can move that hand forward. Speaking of 5-so, we're going to cut the 8-mon here, locking in the 6-so pair, and now has Ryankan Ishanten.
Yeah, really promising start here for Miho.
2-mon, well, I mentioned there was possibly Peiko. That was the ideal draw for it. East won't do anything. Back it goes. Going to be called here. Now we see how much of this is pure Honitsu. And that 7-pin cut definitely indicates wants Honitsu and not much else.
Yeah, that's a value play for sure.
7-mon goes out. Keeps the kind of messy blocks in Pinzu, but they're blocks, which is better than the floater. And there we see a pair up with the Haku. The hand's looking very scary all of a sudden. Needs a few more tiles, but if it catches in, it's going to be huge. Oh, well, there's a Phil. Penchon completed. Now Ryamurama and Ishanten for Riichi Pinfu, possibly Peiko.
I hear Miho valuing the 4-6-6 shape rather than holding the Gyankang.
And now we see a Dora being cut. So if anyone had any questions about what that hand is, those are now officially obvious.
Oh, wow, look at this read.
So that's Tempai. Just going to be Riichi, possible Dora, waiting on 5-8-pin.
Oh, that 5-pin came out just in time for Misaki, but I don't think she'll be able to cut another one. Or
Yeah,
willing
the
to cut
hand's
another
a
one so
long
easily.
way off still.
And that was a nice read from Miho, holding the 4-6-6 shape, allowing the Tempai to be found on the Anko draw.
And the 5 didn't really do much, but this hand's so far off, just going to basically fold out.
You know, Jenn mentioned that Miho is... Oh, Tsumo! Dora! Uda!
Reach Sumo Dora Ora, that's just Mongon.
Miho gets it all, everything she wanted and more.
Hit the expensive end and the Aura. Can't complain about that. Going to jump out to a pretty big lead.
Yeah, and Jenn mentioned that Miho is generally a pretty defensive player, but she's been the first to Tempai in both of the hands of this game so far.
Well, if you can get it close, it doesn't matter how much defense you're playing. Just throw the stick out there and sumo.
We will shift over to Kimura's dealership. Kimura.
And Kimura, especially see that 5-mon, fills in very nicely. Ooh, I like this hand. The more I see, the more I like it.
Actually born in Hawaii.
This just has some honors. I see, what, 3 completed shapes, a pair, a run, and another run. So lots of potential there. Maybe a Chitoitsu with all the pairs in this hand. 2-pin being Dory and a floating 2-pin and a bunch of pairs. Definitely feels Chitoitsu. Nice little Tateniu hand. And here we have much more regular Pinfu and possibly Peiko and upper Pinzu.
And for
It's
Miho,
going to be held as a floater.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that this hand doesn't get first attempt by this time.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but there are lots of ways it can move forward. 6-pin connects with the 7-8-8-9. Haku doesn't use to do anything here. We see the 1-so Anko up, so now you have an option. You can just play efficiency, maybe cutting north. We'll go ahead and float that north for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's a start. And looking at
We've been pair up.
Dealer's hand had such a great start, but usually that means that you don't have many floating tiles, and so it's a little bit more difficult to draw useful tiles. It can be frustrating to sit there drawing and discarding over and over again.
Now Miho just keeps pairing things up here, getting closer to that Chitoitsu Dora 2.
Okay, that's an improvement.
Yeah, upgrades the shape from the 5-7 to the 7-8. East doesn't really do anything.
I'm drawn to the way that Miho draws her tiles, picks it up, puts it on the table, and then sort of uses her palm to lift it up. It's really cool.
Alright, well, the 9-mon doesn't really do anything. Gonna go and hold it for now, just to extend the 4-6-7 shape. Uso a bit of a miss. Ooh, 3 so interesting draw. The normal cut here is the east. You want to cut the 2, but it's Dora. Once it cut the 4, so it gives up on the Chijoitsu route. To try and play as efficiently as possible while still floating the east. 5-pin's an interesting draw. Could end up Champon 3-pin, 8-pin.
Tanya thoughts, perhaps.
And now we have the 9-so pair up. Could be Peiko with the 7-so. Of course, we see where those 7-so are. Oh no, the backfire on the 4-so cut last turn. Drawing the 5. We have an Anko of the 7-mon now.
Oh, hello, 3-pin.
Well, okay, there you go. That is now Ishunten for probably Tateniu.
Then Ishunten and producer Kimura as well. Oh, 3
There's a fill, a perfect fill even.
It's a
Question is, what
glorious.
floater do you want? I feel the 6-mon is the normal cut, but you can also go 2-so here.
Yeah, if you're thinking about the quality of your.
It's so bad. But at the same time, the 1-so is going to be really good here. Because you can see 3 of them. 3 of the 2-so out.
Yeah, and you're holding a bunch of the 3-sos as well, so the 1-so just impossible to use without being paired up. And, well, we know where the 1-so are.
Yeah, that's the only problem, is it doesn't work well if someone has 3 of them. Because they tend not to cut from that shape.
Yeah, I wonder how easy it is to read that, because sometimes you look at a tile, say that's a really good tile, as long as it does, someone doesn't have an Anko. Can you ever read that someone's got that Anko and that you should rely on that as a good tile on the wall?
Well, you kind of wonder when you see this many 2s why no one's cut the 1. A lot of the time, it's someone's using it as their pair, their head for the hand. And that's just Tempai. This is Riichi Tateniu 5-8-mon.
Slam the Riichi first to Tempai.
The question is, how much does Kimura want to fight this? And the answer is not too much.
Well, Miho think about this at all.
There's an Ishunten draw. There's the 1-so. Oh, the Dora draw. That is not what you were planning for, but I think you just go 2-so here. The question is, do you want to push the 6-mon right now?
Yeah, it's 6-mon or 2-so.
Yep, just shoves.
She certainly has the value worth shoving for.
3 fills into a Kanshan now, potentially the 7-mon. The 1-so definitely feels like a fold. If I get to Itsu, great. If I don't, whatever. So that is not Tempai. No, it is Tempai on a really ugly 3-5.
Yeah, you have to drop the
Champon
Dora,
weight.
though.
Throwing the Dora, and no, the normal cut there is just the 2-so. That's going to be the play.
Yeah, so one of the benefits of cutting the 2-so here is that we can draw a lot of lower pin tiles into Tempai around the 2-pin. And we can still pull a number of things as well into Tempai.
Let's see the 8-pin come out. Oh, well, there's a Dora pair up. And says, no, I made my decision to fold earlier, not going to backtrack now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a helpful tile if you're folding away. However, it is nice to know that you're holding the Dora and not other people. So a comforting thought that if you...
doesn't look that dangerous. I think it's Kimbutsu.
Yeah, if you do deal in, it's probably going to be worth a little bit less.
East isn't it. We'll see the 5-mon. Ooh, interesting here. Could try and back into this if you shove the 8. We'll throw the 4 for now. Well, 1-pin pair. Could end up in a really awkward Peiko.
Oop.
Oh, there's your Tempai.
This late, do you dare jam the 5? And if so, with Riichi or Dama?
Well, you already cleared the 2, so I feel you can probably just shove this. The question is Riichi or Dama. I would Riichi, but then I will always Riichi.
Yeah, Corak known for a couple things. One is calling, and the other is slamming Riichi. Basically, always playing the hand, if possible.
Riichi, Tateniu, Dora 2, possible Dora 3. Ooh, well, now Ishunten. But now there's a second Riichi on board.
Yeah, thinking back at that. Oh,
There's the
finds
deal in. The Riichi Tateniu comes through. And an aura.
5,200 plus sticks. And Ogura will take a bit of an advantage now in second place. I'm thinking back to those one-sos that Miho discarded. She ended up with an Anko of 1-mon and a pair of 1-pin. It could have been a 1-doko. Or a Sancho Goto.
Yeah, needed the ones earlier, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is you give up on the hand, and then all of a sudden it tempts you back in. And no, you have to accept it's just not there sometimes.
All right. Fans of Team WRC, this is the chance. Miho's dealership. Can she find a monster hand? Now's the time to get it.
Nice little Tateniu hand. You see an East pair up. It is still East 4. That is a Yakuhai. Decent shapes elsewhere. 3-pin's an amazing draw there. Gives a nice little Ipeco shape. Possible Honitsu. The 9 loosely connects to the 8. Not much there. 8-pin will connect to the 35577. So not ideal, but we'll take it for now. The 2-mon fills the Ryeonman shape. The 147 in Monzu, less than ideal. That throws back the 1. The 4 fills the 5-6. The 5 fits in nicely, upgrades the door shape from a 6-8 to a 5-6. You see the 3 thrown right back has decided what the final hand shape's going to be and wants that East.
Yeah, right.
So they're going to do much, just want to use it as a floater. The 8-pin does pair up here. You have a backwards route into a Chitoitsu, but probably still playing regular. But 6, so a huge help. Now Ishan 10. You can, of course, call the East for Tempai.
Ogura definitely with the advantage in this hand. Misaki has Tateniu routes, but it's not a ton of value, just Tateniu door 1. If you open for it.
Natusko's not an ideal draw here. It's not a good pair. You have the overlap. And your other side of this overlap is a Dore shape, so you're never cutting that. So back it goes.
Yeah, clever discard.
Ooh, second Dora. Yeah, the West is the normal cut there. Because if you draw the 7-8, maybe you just cut the East.
Yeah, that is a route to even bigger value. We don't need to open up on the East if we have like Ipeco, Pihu, Dora 2, Slam a Riichi.
And a Tateniu. But that's Tempai. This may just be a Riichi.
Would you ever East here? She's definitely thinking about it.
I might. With this lead, though, I kind of just like taking the Riichi. I feel that if you're a little bit behind, I would cut the East. Oh, cut 6-mon.
Okay. Alternative
This
plan.
still allows you to call the East and then win on the 9. I like this a lot.
If we do draw something like the 7, so we won't get our Pihu, but that's okay, because we'll have Riichi Dora 2 with the Ipeco chance.
Yeah, we do lose out on the Tateniu as well. 8-pin really doesn't do much here.
This also gives her the opportunity to draw something like 5-mon and slam a 3-sided Riichi.
3-mon connects to the 4, but the hand pretty far behind at this point, and still has had that East in the hand. Probably not going to get rid of it at this point. Well, that's your quote-unquote Tempai. Back it goes.
Yeah, that does ruin the sort of 5-mon draw plan.
But yeah, that's a draw 5-mon or don't win the hand if you take that one. 2 so doesn't really do much. Threw it earlier. Back. This one goes as well. 4-mon fills in nicely. The normal cut here is 3-pin. But a bunch of options here. You have 4 pairs and a completed run. We'll go ahead and cut the 3-so for now. Potential 3-4-5 Sanjuku shift in there. And now we just have Ipeco. I imagine this is a Dama. Yeah, this is Ipeco Dora 2 waiting on 7, so we see a loose 7 here, so it could come out eventually.
Yeah, 5,200 point Dama. And that means the East in Miho's hand is pretty safe now. If there's an upgrade
Okay,
to...
there's another 3-so cut last turn, so the second one comes out. Was not going for the 3-4-5 Sanjuku, like the safer tile. Instead, 3-pin... Anko here, you can cut the 1 and just go Tateniu. There's the 7!
Ooh.
Deals into the Dama Ipeco Dora 2.
Surprise! That will put Ogura over 30,000 and within striking range of Miho's first place.
Yeah, we see the same dynamic we saw in the last game. Two people fighting out for first, two people fighting it out for third, at least for now. We are getting into South 1 now, so some time left still.
And the last game went down to the closest to finish. Is see if you can increase his gap a little bit before All Last. We saw the strength of All Last in the first game and the weakness of All Last dealer in the second game. Will it be a strength or weakness in game 3? Misaki back in the dealer seat.
Now we'll take a look at Misaki's hand once it comes up.
Your favorite tile is the 8-mon. I wonder if we'll have any of those.
Well, I'd really like to get a look at the hands. I'm not sure what the camera crew's doing here.
Well, getting nice player views though. There we go.
All right, an actual hand. There we go. Ooh, I like that hand. That was worth waiting for. Nice little shape in Pinzu, possibly in Honetsu. And there we see a 4, so draw fills in nicely. This hand has already had a call, but looks relatively cheap here. We see the pair of the Haku here, and a Dora, maybe a 6 or 8 Sanchoku as well. South cut, we see that Haku, that is the last one, almost has to be called, and there it goes.
Now, this isn't really the value necessarily that Kimura is looking for. However, it does shut down the dealership of her competition if he wins it. So there are some benefits to opening up here. And, that was the last tile, last chance to call it, so you might as well.
Yeah, if you don't take that one, you almost have to go Chitoitsu, and that hand just wasn't moving that direction. And the other advantage is, yes, as mentioned, 1,000 get you to stay in third place, so you have another chance to fight later, especially when you get to your own dealer turn. 8 so's a bit of a miss. Will Karigiri it out. West doesn't do anything. Back it goes.
Your point about dealership, I think if her dealership had already passed, there's a lot more incentive to not call that and try to rework the hand towards some type of Riichi, but your dealership is really where you aim to collect the majority of the points.
Backfire on the 8-mon. Had cut one to lock in the 7-8 shape and drew the third one, but it has to go back. We'll hold the 9-pin as a floater, also possible Honetsu shift. You maybe draw the 8-pin. Do you get a little greedy? Especially being Dora, definitely the tile you'd love to draw. Another 8-mon. You're seeing his lucky tile, and you've seen 3 of them discarded so far.
Yeah, I couldn't use it in this hand, that's for sure.
That's a completed shape. This is now Ishanten. Still trying to keep that 8-pin. Would love a 7. East doesn't really do anything. We're going to hold it here. Of course, if it pairs up, there are also Chanter routes in that hand. North doesn't do anything, just throws it back.
There's an Anko.
1-so Anko. Now Ishanten. 3-pin connects nicely with the 4. Ishanten there.
We're getting to the point in the hand where you're expecting players to be Tempai, or please very close to Tempai.
Speaking of Tempai, there it is, waiting on the 7-pin Dora indicator.
Yeah, with the potential shift to 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku, she can find the 6-mon. A little extra value there, perhaps.
1-so's a really interesting draw, because it wants to force you back to a 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku. And the question is, can you really convince yourself to do it by just cutting the 7 and saying, I'm never taking Dora?
Yeah, that is a tough choice. 5, so first, looks like she's hovering that thought, but that doesn't really give you...
gives it up, wants the Dora badly. Of course, we know that 7 would deal in. The 5-mon to really do much as a floater. A little dangerous, but out it goes.
Yeah, maybe that was part of the read.
There's the 3, so now you're feeling a bit of regret. Like, yes, they would have had it. Of course, we don't know you wouldn't, because it would have been a deal in.
Oh, speaking of Dora.
Ooh. Thinks about it for a second. He just says, it's too late. I have to take the white Ishanten. 3, so doesn't really fit. 4-pin. That is Tempai.
Declines?
Doesn't take it, though. There is a Tenpai that is taken, waiting on the Dora for Riichi Dora 1.
And suddenly, all the players who are open have to consider, well, that's
There's
a Tenpai.
Tenpai as well. Can throw the safe 9 or the more dangerous 3.
3, of course, gives you the 4-7 wait. The 9, just waiting on the 4, but it's a safer entry. Ogura's going to go for
Waiting
it.
on 4-7 pin.
And Miho already made up her mind. She was going to fold. So kind of telegraphed by not taking that Riichi. I guess it's not completely fold yet. We're still Ishanten, but be hard pressed to fight.
There's a Dora pair up. The 6 is going to come out. Doesn't deal in. Everything around that door is terrifying to throw.
Yes.
I did see the 3-pin and the 9-pin pass. I figure it's probably safe. This may just be a 9-pin cut because it's safe. We'll switch to the 2-5 Shumpon.
Is 4-pin too much to push? I mean, the 6 already came out.
The 1 also came out. We'll shove it. 2 Doras, always worth a lot.
Oh!
Sumo, reach Sumo Dora.
And an Ura
That's
as
an
well.
Ura. Mangan.
Wow. The last door in the wall, and that's a dealer Mangan for Misaki.
Misaki was going to jump way up there. Not into first place, but going to drastically close the gap, I believe, into second now. Yes, by 400 points.
Wow. So suddenly 2 players threatening Miho's position up at the top. And
So this is the other side of playing passively, is everyone else will tend to fight, especially if they realize you're backing off a lot.
yeah, we mentioned this in the preview that if you look at the standings at the start of the game, Team WRC at plus 3.0 is in second place. First is at plus 14, and fourth in this division rather is at negative 10.5. So the winner of this game is going to be first overall. A lot at stake right now.
Speaking of a lot at stake, I see a lot of terminals and honors, and not full sellout on the Kokushi route, but going to keep it in back of mind. Nice little pair up of the 1-so there, possible Honetsu. Also could just go regular hand with an Ipeiko, especially on a 3-so draw. Could be a regular hand there as well. Ooh, that Haku might just push you in the direction.
Poor Shantan.
There's a long way to go, but the hand's so bad for anything else.
Yeah, it's true. And if you win a Yakuman, you're getting first, okay? It's going to happen.
I've seen situations in which it doesn't, but not on this scoreline.
That also provides some incentive to just send it if you're close.
Formon connects there nicely. You do have an overlap with the 3-4 and the 7. So you see an Ipeiko there with the 9-pin draw. Can also just go Honetsu now, especially one of those shapes fills up.
I gotta say, out of all of these hands, I think Miho's is the most realistic to finding Tenpai. Well, especially if you draw like that.
There's the 5. Yeah, now potential 3-sided with the 4, 5, 6, 7 in Manzu.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
it's actually
okay. 2 Shanten.
2 away.
Speaking of 2 away, that's a Chitoitsu that's getting significantly closer.
I wonder what tiles are missing from that 9-mon 1-pin. And then the West.
West. Four, not going to be held. Really wish you had the 3 back there because you had that 3, 4, 5, but the shapes aren't there.
Oh.
Well, there's your West. We're now Ishunten for Kokushi Muso.
Wow. 9-mon 1-pin. Hold on, folks. This could get really exciting.
6 Commander really didn't do much, but going to go ahead and Karagiri it.
So just an extra
Natsu
pair.
is an honor, so going to hold it as a safe tile is what that usually is. 2-pin fills the run there. I will say that's the one time you feel a lot worse about keeping those honors, is if someone's going Kokushi. Yeah, I just have a safe tile. That's not how it works.
Yeah, not quite. Ishanten for Miho, though. And Kimura also opening up earlier for Tateniu to try to catch the speed.
Shut this down.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have an Ishanten there with that Tateniu. 5-pin, that's an Onko. That is Tempai.
It's actually...
No, it's Ishanten.
Super wide.
You're right. Yeah, just headless with 2 Onko. Not a shape you see that often.
With Yamen, Samenchan, there's almost an infinite number of tiles that give Tempai here.
1 pin doesn't do anything. Back it goes.
Not one of the...
5, so doesn't really do anything for this hand.
Another pair. This
4
is
pins
just...
a pair up. Doesn't really do much. You can just cut the 8-mon here. Oh, no, that's paired up. Not with the 2 consecutive in the hand, but does have 2 of them. So you actually have 4 pairs. Really hard to use this hand.
Yep.
You might just outright fold.
With 8-mon being Dora, you're kind of incentivized to fight, though, with 2 Dora. Do you ever 9-so and try to force some type of Tateniu or cheat?
I go 3-so.
Okay.
There's Tempai.
4-7-so.
Waiting on 4-7-so. There's the Tempai we were expecting. And this is now Riichi Tateniu waiting on, what is it, the 2-5-8?
Yeah, Dora Takame here. Could be a big opportunity for Miho. And remember, there's that Yakuman hand, the Ishanten for Kokushi or Ogura. Cannot use 2-5 or 8-mon. Certainly not if she gets Tempai. Still going to float the idea with the Hatsucut. Save tile out.
Yeah, you don't give up on the first draw there, and that's why you have that extra safe tile.
Oh, no con?
No con. That's actually a very big surprise. As you have a good weight here, I feel the extra draw, the Rinshan chance, the Uradora would be really nice there.
Yeah, perhaps just saying, I'm in first place. I don't want to increase the volatility of this hand.
Yeah, but first place by 4,000 is very different from a solid first place.
Oh,
is that Tempai?
Yeah, that was a big draw by Misaki. That's Tempai on the 1 pin.
But it shuts it down. The 4-so deals in. And just like that, the Yakuman denied. The Riichi denied the open hand, shutting down everything.
Just as it found Tempai. Tragedy for Ogura, but what an exciting hand that turned out to be. The dealer finding a path with the 2 Dora as well. And Miho will lose 1,000 points in that exchange, losing the Riichi stick, so that only draws everyone closer.
Yeah, Ogura now 1,700 down in 3rd place, but a long way to go and a pretty good starting hand there. Similarly, a decent starting hand here, but has a bunch more floaters to get rid of. That looks like a significantly worse hand. Maybe a couple penchant in there. 2-so's a nice fill, but the rest of the hand needs some work. This definitely looks like the best hand, although we see it organized. But it has that 4-pin door. Would love to get the 3-4-5 Stone Scoop. We're going to require some effort to get there.
That's a South pair.
Pair up. Whole bunch of honors to get rid of. The hand's just a mess, and that maybe even a preemptive fold with that 2-pin cut.
Yeah, I view it as like, this hand is so weak that I'll start by cutting this terrible shape. And if I happen to draw perfectly into Tempai later on, I'll go for it. But I'm not going to hold bad shapes. I'm going to hold safer tiles.
Yeah, in the meantime, Ogura there sitting with a very nice Ishanten as dealer.
Yeah, maybe the Yakuman just wasn't there, but still a great opportunity to pull in some points in this round. Especially if you can draw
There are
around
so many tiles to get Tempai there.
I will say, it would be sad to draw a Tempai that doesn't involve the 4-pin.
It would, but Riichi Pinfu as dealer is perfectly acceptable, especially in a relatively close game like this.
That is true.
Which is really sad is if you draw something that doesn't even get you Pinfu. Well, that's just 3-sided. That is an easy Riichi. Riichi Pinfu, 3-6-9-mon.
And now we get to see defensive showdown. No one wants to fight dealer here.
Holding out. Miho doesn't want anything to do with this hand, especially with a dealer Riichi on row 1. 2-so, isn't it?
Yeah, there we go. Yappa guy.
Could have called 2-so and tried to fight this hand, but didn't really feel like it.
Oh, June pair. We're still not fighting this.
No, with what's already been cut, it's definitely not a fighting position.
That would have
I
been
feel the only chance that could have been would have been a Tuso Chi here from Kimura, and isn't going to fight this down.
These draws would have been so exciting if they happened before the Riichi.
Yeah, no, we have 3 dragon pairs.
You know, these Sapuchan weights, they haven't been winning today. The 3-sided, you know, I think we had the 369 in game number 2 at the end. Didn't come to fruition. It was pretty early Riichi as well. Players defending well, and no Tsumo. Oh, second Dora.
4-pin not going to do anything. Dora clears. Everyone breathes a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, the more Dora that are discarded, the less value that the dealer Riichi has. So even if they Tsumo, you certainly are going to be paying out less.
2 pins, a bit of a miss. Can't do anything with it. Ooh, that 5-so again does not want to fight this hand.
Somehow we're Ishanten. Miho is just Ishanten. I thought she was folding. How did this happen?
Well, the wall saying, you're going to fight this hand.
If you draw a 6-so, would you take that challenge?
Yes, absolutely. You have a Yakuhai, you have a good weight. Of course, you don't know your weight is inferior with the 6-9 versus the 3-6-9. But you figure it's a Class A weight, the terminal included in a run there. So the ideal weights generally for a 2-sided.
And you can see that she is still trying to fight a little bit. Oh, looks like correcting the point totals here at the table. But yeah, going with the Chun Chun pair cut instead of the Hatsu Onko cut signals that she will try to find a way back in if it's safe to do so.
Now, also there was a Chun out already, so it had cleared. And once it doesn't do anything, you're sitting here as dealer going, come on, I got this great hand as dealer. There's not much value, but it's an amazing weight, and it's just not cashing in.
Yeah, everyone concerned about this north wind hasn't shown up just yet. Saki not willing to jam it. Miho not willing to throw it out there.
Yeah, Formon goes back, still waiting for that 3-6-9.
Kimura will try it.
The thing is, the 3-6-9 actually looks pretty good on the wall. We see a few of them here, and there's another one drawn.
They are starting to get pulled in just by the wrong players. 3-pin, not quite Tempai.
At this point, it's just a fold. Can always go Hatsu, Hatsu, Hatsu.
Yeah, it's just a waiting game. Can Ogura find one of these tiles? So many have been drawn at this point. Surely can't be many left in the wall.
And the other part of it is everyone knows everyone else at the table is folding.
Yeah.
So you're not worried about the surprise 3,000 payout.
The thing is, with the 1,000 all coming to Ogura, this will be even closer. He will drop down to 30,300.
Yeah, we'll jump into second place, and Miho will be very close. But we were running out of tiles and running out of time on this hand. 2 more after this.
One more chance for dealer. I can't find it.
And just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And I say sometimes you're really happy to get that 3,000 even on a cheap hand. This is not one of those times.
No, you really wanted to see what the Uda was.
You wanted the Sumo, the Riichi stick back, that's 49 right there, plus a potential Aura. But we'll end up netting 2,000 for that hand, and as we said, the game is super close now. Kimura a bit back, but we'll also have a dealer turn after this. Ogura still dealer here now in South 2.
1,700 points away, 2,300 points away from first.
This looks like a pretty good hand there. You can see the Sozu shape looks very strong. Also has a floating 5-mon to connect to that 4-mon Dora potential. Looks like a Pinfu type hand, decent shapes. Bunch of floors here. Here you do have a couple penchons, so less than ideal, but acceptable. This is a Dora, and decent shapes, meaning Peiko and Lower Pinzu. 2-pin fits nicely with the 3, creates an actual shape with that. And you actually have your 5 blocks, but decent floaters to be able to get rid of those if something else improves.
Awkward for Kimura. Multiple pairs in the hand. They're terminal pairs as well. Not something that you can easily call for Tateniu.
Ooh, 9-pin. Interesting draw. Can't just go Sanjiku, and that seems to be the play here. Cuts the 5. We'll hold the 6-8-9 shape. Not efficient, but very potentially valuable.
Ooh. That's a nice penchon fill.
Speaking of penchon, we get a fill there on the 7-mon. And a 5 pair up. You can't actually go Tateniu with this. I might just cut the Haku here. That's going to be the play. 8-pin pair up. Ugh, that's about the worst tile you possibly could have drawn. We'll just lock in the shape, cutting the 6 here.
Yeah, take the slight
It's one of those tiles that
but...
improves your shape, but you're sad to see it.
Yeah, because if it... The way it improves the shape is the way that loses your value.
7 going to be held for now. Doesn't really feel the 1 has much use. Oh, well, may have picked the incorrect Sanshoku. Now the 6-8-9 problem in a different suit. You see the long pause here. Is it okay, fine, I'll cut the 9-mon.
Yeah, I mean, you could just throw the 6-mon back, but the issue is you really want to accept that 5-mon so that you can accept the 4-mon Dora. And so she'll end up moving away from the Sanshoku.
We see those honors being held, so little fear there in that hand. Tuso's a nice fill, now Ishan 10. Can just turn this into a Riichi Tateniu. 6 fits in nicely with the 5 pair. But this hand has too many pairs. Question, do you cut 9 so? Do you cut one of the pairs? You're going to cut from the 9-pin pair. There is, of course, one of those out already. 2 connects to the 3 nicely, but with the west and the north, it's still a very slow hand. 3 fills in and connects to the Dora shape. Gets rid of the overlap, now just a 6-mon Kanchan. Needed in Manzu there.
And Kimura feels rewarded for cutting this 9-pin pair because, you know, after seeing Ogura drop her 9-pin, that was the last one. So that was just a dead pair in hand unless you're playing, you know, for 7 pairs. So she'll probably feel like she made the right choice here.
3-so connects to this 2-2 shape. I imagine you just got the 9-so, but may want it as a relative safe tile here. That's going to be the play. I prefer a little more aggression in this situation, but
I feel like
that's 8-so's a huge fill.
I feel like you always prefer a little more aggression in every situation.
Well, maybe not if a few people have Riichi, but we're just getting to the middle of the hand. I am a very aggro player.
That's very true. And, well, there's that 7-pin. It's too late for it, though.
Yeah, I would love that 6-8 Sanshiku, but it's just not there. Ooh, that 7's a huge fill. Now remember, I'm an Ishan 10.
Nope.
1 away.
Tempai.
There's a fill. That's Tempai. Can't wait. Peitanki or 4-7-so. This is Riichi Pinfu Dorwat on 4-7-so.
I found the good side of that shape, the 4-mon Dora, instead of the 1-mon. And she'll slam this Riichi with a potential...
Well, we said 4-so. It's drawn here on Ipatsu. We'll throw the safe tile first. You have the Anko of the 1-pin. This is still Ishan 10, but maybe just breaking away from it here. Draws a 4, but it's in the wrong suit. That is the Dora. Does clear.
Thoughts on this Dora?
I mean, I'd chi and cut 7.
Let's go.
If you're going to throw the 9 anyway, I feel you should just try to advance the hand.
Yeah, I guess you can consider that the Mon tiles aren't really safe to begin with, so calling the chi doesn't really eliminate safe tiles out of your hand. You are missing the draw that could be a safe tile.
That's really the only downside to it.
But, you know, some situations, playing to win the hand might be the best defense.
And that 8-so is definitely a fold here. You can see Kimura is trying to get back into it, but not challenging directly.
I see 1-7-so discarded, 1-7-so and 2-4-sos in hand, so...
Another pair here for Ogura.
At least 1-7-so on the wall for this weight.
Yeah, there that other Dora comes out.
Misaki does have this North Wind to discard if she ever finds the Tempai.
Over definitely now. We may just end up with one player Tempai at the end here.
That would be an okay result for her, but she'd really like to find that last 7-so. A couple more chances at it.
Gets a 7, but again in the wrong suit. Misaki trying to get there, but still stuck in Ishanten. The 6 pair up can push you toward Chitoitsu Ishanten, but we'll give it up.
Yeah, suspicion here in the Sozu, and that for good reason. It's hard to pass. Oh, there it is!
Sumo, reach Sumo, Pinfu Dora.
And the Ura
That's
as well.
an Ura, I believe. Yeah, that's Mongon level. That's going to blow this game open a bit.
Yeah, if without that Ura, I mean, you're still pretty happy, but that Ura gives you an extra 2,800 points. That is pretty massive here.
Yeah, it's between 5,200 and 8,000, and going to be a big win there for Miho, and especially because the former second place takes the brunt of it with the 4,000 sumo payment, and Miho up now 15,000 over second place, and we're in South 3.
Yeah, collects the Riichi stick and the home buff from the previous round as well, and this lead is so solid going into South 3. The last 7-so in the wall. The last tile of that weight in its entirety in the wall.
Game is a lot easier when you just sumo the tile you need. May take a while, but if you get there, it doesn't matter when, just that you get it. Get a nice little 8-mon connection. The hand's looking pretty good. The 4-mon pairs up. Also has a Dora. I have a bunch of honors to get rid of, though. That 4-mon will connect to the 2. Maybe go Tanya if you can cut the 1-pin pair. And there we see a Haku pair up. Can just call and go. Also has a Dora floater. 4-pin pairs up with the 4-4-5-5-7 shape. Maybe any Peiko if you draw 3 or 6-pin. 2-pin fills in somewhat nicely. There is a 2-3-4 Sanshoku shift, if you can draw the 2-so as well.
I'd be interested to see how eager Kimura is to call the Haku, White Dragon, given that she's the dealer and in last place. Of course, with this gap, you really want to Riichi for value.
You really want to win. Forget Riichi. If you can Riichi, great, but you need to win the hand. That's your top priority here. Because
Right.
we're not really under the time pressure yet. And this hand is not good.
Great
So you
fill.
see the 8 there connects possible Sanshoku. 9-so pair up, moves the hand a little bit forward. 5 increases the shape immensely there. Hand looking pretty good. 6-pin doesn't do anything. You feel a little bit of regret on the 7-pin the previous turn, though.
Yeah, max
The
efficiency.
3,
Max efficiency for Kimura dictates cutting the 9-mon, but that's the Dora, and she still wants to hold out for that value pair up. Even Tonki if she gets to call the Haku.
5-pin moves that hand towards Ishanten. Still has to fill the Penchon, though.
Oh.
Well, you don't have to call it if you just get the 3rd one.
And again, playing for the Dora.
Yeah, really wants to go to Tonki with this. The ideal situation is not just winning the White Dragon only in this hand. You want some value. But if the only way to win the hand is to just call and go, you should do so. Still holding out a hope here of some value.
Dora locked away in Misaki's hand, but the other shapes are not good, so she'll try to maximize tile acceptance, cutting
You're
in
seeing
other
there with
areas.
a 4-mon cut there, hedging the Itsu and Pinzu. 1-mon doesn't do anything. Back it goes. Well, there's a Haku. I don't imagine we're going to see a Kon here, and we don't. The 2 increases the shape immensely. Can cut the 2-mon there. Now Ishanten with a better shape. Penchon and Ryanman.
Ooh, that's a
Ooh,
great
that's an
fill.
amazing draw. That fills that shape in completely. Can cut one of these blocks. We'll cut the 1-pin, planning to get the 5 and then wait Dora Tonki. Or ideally, just draw another Dora. Then you don't have to worry about the Dora Tonki. 9-pin pair up doesn't really do anything. We'll go ahead and take a potential Champon shift towards a 9-9 weight. Oh, well, that's a nice little upgrade. Turns this into Ryanman. I imagine you just got the 4-6. No, cuts the door. It says it's getting late. We just have to win the hand. And with the Yakuhai, that makes sense, because if you can get Riichi, even bad weight Riichi, Yakuhai is fine. East doesn't do anything, so out it goes. There's the 7. You now have Ryamaram and Headless Ishanten.
It's really
see
strong.
A chi there.
Miho trying to shut things down here, get the dealership off of Kimura and into last.
Well, Miho's not really concerned with value given the spread here.
Absolutely
of course, there's
not.
a first place bonus, so just anything's good. Riso doesn't work, especially with that 4-so last turn.
Ooh.
6-mon, though, is a perfect draw here. This is Tempai on 6-pin. Not the ideal shape or weight. Would get into second place. Oh, no, hold on. There it is. It's refreshing. The scores were refreshing, but yes, this is Ogura sitting here making the decision whether to take this Riichi or not. You're basically saying I'm not getting first if I take this. And it's a really bad one. And no, going to greed for a little value here. You have Ipeiko, you have great shape upgrades. There are lots of reasons to cut here. There's a Chi. This is now Tempai on 9-mon. Can only win on the Dora. 6 does not complete a Yaku. Speaking of 6s, there's Tempai. And we'll go ahead and Riichi. This is a 4-7 pin. Riichi Pinfu Dora 1.
And now you've got to rethink, well, this is another Tempai.
So is the ideal draw. That gets you Ipeiko option. This should be a 2-pin Riichi.
Yes. Gonna take this challenge. It's 3 players Tempai, and suddenly Kimura, the only one not there yet. She really needs this too. You surely have to just take this fight, right?
Man, this 3-mon is just not going to help, so it goes ahead and breaks it. Oh, that is the wrong end. There's no Yaku.
Oh no.
And you see the long pause here, the obvious depression. You see the mouth moving.
Yeah, so do
His
some
lips
calculations
a little
here.
scared here.
Obviously, this is, one of the possibilities that you consider when you open in such a fashion. Atosuke for the 9. You draw the 6 instead. It's just unfortunate that 2 Riichis have come out, and then you draw this. Suddenly you have to start defending.
What do you cut? 4-pin? It's not great to anyone. The only advantage if it clears, you get 2 of them. Cuts the 7-so, and it passes.
Yeah, CG to 1.
Of course, we know the 4-pin would deal in.
And, opening up, you can do that if you're confident in your defense from an open stance. Now, this is something you talk about a lot as well. We get to see Miho's defensive prowess now. Can she escape here?
And it's stressful. It absolutely is to do this, but it's something good players need to learn how to do. A lot of pros in the older style would just always stay closed because they just couldn't deal with it and just liked being able to fold from big ends. Oh no, there's the 9!
It's too late.
It's too late now. And in the new game, you just have to be willing to push a little bit more.
Yeah, the modern style. Now that's an interesting choice now. Kimura still trying to fight a little bit for this.
And just looking out and going, what on earth do I throw? And this is the problem, because you can't even assume Suji are going to work here, especially in Upper Monzu, because there's such an incentive for someone to be waiting in
She
there.
finds the 3-pin though. And sumo.
There's
from
the
Ogura.
sumo, reach sumo pinfu. It is the cheap end. 1 ura. So reach sumo pinfu ura 1.
26-13, 13-26. And collects the Riichi sticks as well, but Miho will still hang on to the lead. And you know what Miho held? 4-pin deal-in and the 8-so deal-in.
Yes, held the deal-in tiles, did not throw them. Very important. Miho will have a chance here as South 4 dealer. You don't really need to run up the score. You just need to end the game. Of course, as we've mentioned many times, we play with Garayame, that if you're in first place after South 4 is dealer and win, too bad you get to play another one. And by get to, I mean have to.
And depending on your perspective, that could be a good thing. Like if you're trying to run up the score, you want to have that opportunity. And well, Miho wants more points for her team.
Oh, would absolutely love it. But with the scores overall this close, especially the overall scores for these teams, you can see those in the yellow down there. It's pretty intense.
8,200 points is the gap from Miho to Ogura. So Ogura would need a Mangan Sumo to... Actually, not even a Mangan Sumo. Well, Mangan Sumo would certainly do it, but...
No, Ogura would need a Mangan Sumo because 8,000 direct on anyone else will not get there.
Yeah.
Well, we look at these hands, we see an 8-pin pair. Decent shapes, but not great ones. East is Dora. Very hard to use unless you're a dealer and have 2 of them, which appears to be the case. Pin Fu Taipan, maybe 1, 2, 3 Sanshogu. We see the West pair. That is the Yakuhai for Ogura. May decide to just play for second. The question is, can you pair up the East as well? And the 6 shows the long pause here. Do I go Honitsu? Do I just cut an honor? Goes and cuts an honor.
Yeah, Shituitsu would do it, but that's...
It's a long way off. That 6 month's a huge fill there with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Monzu now. We have a 3-pin connection here. Goes ahead and cuts from the Monzu shape. Playing as many blocks as possible. There is another Haku. Of course, it looks pretty dead now. The 8-mon will go back, especially with the early cut in upper Monzu. 2-so pair up. Another pair. Kind of use this hand. We'll cut the 3-5, slim this down to 5 block.
Yeah, cutting from the 3 because if we draw the 6-pin, we can still use the 5-pin, although our plan is to discard that later.
The plan's to pull and just get this hand over with, but you have to get the tile, and especially when the player looking for is Dora, may not be so easy.
Yeah, as difficult as it is for other players to use the East, I certainly won't be so willing to cut it very easily.
And because no one's just 1,000 behind, they're all looking for reasons to use Dora.
Right.
The scores here are actually pretty split.
If you were just 1,000 behind, sure, cut the Dora, go for a fast Tanyao. But as you said, with a split score like this, you really need Riichi or Dora to find value.
Naiso fills in the Kanchan there. Nice fill. 2-pin doesn't do anything, especially the 5 will hold as a relative safe tile. North doesn't really do anything. We'll hold it and get rid of the 6 here. When going for that 1, 2, 3 Sanshogu. The 4, though, does fill in there, the Ryanman. Looking for an Itsu and Pinzu, probably. 3-pin doesn't do much. Back it goes. 4-pin. Oh, you see the backfire there with that 3 cut earlier. 2-mon pairs up. Gives an extended shape in Monzu. The pay doesn't really do anything. The question is how much are you selling out on Honitsu? And Ogura would love some value and just gonna shove it. Go for the Honitsu. It's a long way off, but that feels like the only way to make Mangan out of that hand without just a bunch of Ura.
Still seeking that last East. Well,
oh, the perfect draw on the 7-pin. You can't even go Itsu. Maybe you cut north or south here? No, full steam ahead. We're going for that Honitsu. Tons of value. Ooh, the 2's a fill. This is now Ishan 10.
Kutsuki.
With a pair, yeah, Kutsuki. With a 6-pin, I believe a 3-so.
Yeah, big chance for Kimura.
There's a south pair up that is a Yakuhai. But the question is, can you make any other value out of this? You want the 1, 2, 3 Sanshogu, so maybe a 5-pin or 2-pin cut here.
5-pin it is.
And there's the 5.
Ogura now. Can she find another pin tile? Yes!
Yes.
Well, it's getting there. It's the long route to
value.
That is
Tempai. That is an ugly Tempai if I have ever seen one.
Oh, we can't take this, surely. Yes, we can.
Apparently we can. Believing in the power of 3-so there. The 3-so 8-pin Shampon for Riichi Nomi.
Yeah, really hoping for Ura-san.
Now, this is also the 4th place player. May just not want to lose any more points, but I agree. I'd be pushing for a little bit more value.
Yeah, well, look at what Miho does. She just immediately folds. This is the perfect player to Riichi.
Well, Miho, yeah, this is great for Miho, because you don't think Kimura here has Baimon, and even if it is Baimon, is that enough to overtake? I don't think so. Yeah, 24,000? No, it's not. Ooh, 3-pin getting closer.
It's so tempting to fight here. We'll start with the north.
Well, you can just cut that for now. You're never throwing the Dora, but almost anything else I feel you can shove here. The other thing, if you're one of the other players, you might not be that scared unless you're Misaki dealing in, because Kimura probably can't take anything that isn't Mongon level. You'd be very surprised this is the actual Riichi.
Right. And so Misaki is in the most desperate full position, but Ogura has all the incentive in the world to fight, and Miho could even theoretically fight as well, unless she believes it's a Hanuman level hand, which, why would you Riichi unless it was Mongon or Hanuman potential? It could be the thought that Miho has, and so certainly play defensively.
Well, we say Mongon or Hanuman potential, but you assume that is, in most situations, that's not I have the goods, that's I want Ura. And in this situation is I want Ura. The problem is there's no base value to add 3 to turn into a Hanuman.
Yeah, nor does it want Ura, it needs Ura, it requires Ura. It's a careful consideration
Long
here.
pause here.
Again, this is the player with the most to lose from a direct hit, so it's certainly reasonable to think very carefully about how you want to play this.
At the same time, with the score line, remember the distribution. It's a bigger jump from third to second than it is falling third to fourth.
I think certainly if Misaki had a reasonable chance to Mongon to take over second, she might be more willing to consider the fight here. But
I think she would push in that situation, but it's just not there.
Yeah. It just doesn't quite get there, so has to pull successfully. We're in the third row. It's almost the end of the hand, and Miho will not be Tenpai, so this should be the last hand of the game. Ogura, though, has the chance to take over. Oop.
And Ogura is getting out here. Was going to make some pushes, but just never got the tiles. There just aren't enough draws in the wall left to really consider the Honetsu viable. And of course, Ogura has to remember that if you deal into Kimura, you could end up dropping to third place, or even worse if there's an Ura flip, because everyone has to assume that Kimura has Mongon already.
It's going to be full for Ogura, so very good news for Miho. She just needs to successfully pass her way through the rest of these draws. I don't think she has a deal in tile in her hand, so it's looking good.
Well, it is a very awkward wait. And there's the West. Gets 2 tiles safe. And there's the Dora, and now everyone goes, oh, okay. And there's a Dora cut. I imagine we're going to see another one pretty soon.
Yeah.
There it is, and I imagine the last one's going to come out pretty soon.
Yeah, that's just signals that. And once you see 3 Dora,
we'll hold it instead.
You're very confident.
Yeah, now everyone breathing a sigh of relief. Okay, it's maybe a prayer for a Sanshoku draw or some random Chitoi. And they're going to see it and kind of look at it, go, huh? Leans in there and the hesitate. Wait, what? Okay.
Just Ryukyoku points, so Kimura picks up some points, but Miho the big winner, plus 47.3, and with that first place, this is a huge shift in favor of Team WRC. They will be taking over this division off the back.
In second there with 9.1, Misaki in third with minus 18.7, and Kimura, you can see the look on her face there with a minus 38.7.
It will be WRC in the lead. It was Lika in game 1 with a first place, a monstrous first place. Jenn in game 2 with a second place, positive result. And Miho in game 3, capping things off with a victory. Well played.
Yeah, Team WRC definitely the big winner today. Some intense plays there, and then at the end, everyone getting very scared and then seeing, oh, it was just a Riichi. Okay.
Yeah,
but I think the big play was the Mongon Sumo there, and I believe that was South 3 with the Ura hit.
At various points in that game, it looked like Miho was either in complete control or that the other players were going to catch up. But yeah, as you mentioned, that big hand from Miho, that the last 7-so in the wall. And
no, that's right. It was South 2 because it actually hit second place with Oyakabari. The extra payments as dealer ended up being huge.
That created the game-winning gap, and so Team WC will celebrate this performance. And I think we've got a post-match recap from the three players, a small little interview as they discuss the results of the day. Let's go ahead and take a look.
はい、お疲れ様でした。The WRC team is here. We just finished all 3 games doing Lika-chan and then Miho-chan and then Jenn. And we had a great day! Yay! 嬉しい。ね、最初は、最下位から首位に上がれたので、もう、ね、2人のおかげで、私はもう本当に
3人のおかげで
耐えただけ。
2人の流れを私が引き継いで頑張った。初めてのプラスです。
そう、ね、これでも個人戦も諦めないでいいじゃん。
次頑張ってみます。
頑張ろうよ。ね。
みんな個人戦頑張る。チーム戦はもちろん。
で、そう、リカちゃんもなんかもう上位の方なので、なんかこのままいけばね、プレイオフとかにもいけるから、そう。Yeah, thank you everybody for like cheering us on and watching. It was definitely your power that helped us. ね、みんな応援してくれたから、その力をいただいて。
チーム優勝目指して、来年のWRC盛り上げます. 이번에 유칸 후지에서 처음으로 플러스 점수를 받아서 너무너무 기뻐요. 여러분들 내년에 만나 뵙기를 기대하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 응원 계속 부탁드려요.
예.
好，今天优看富士杯，今天我们终于从 team 最下位到首位啦，耶！谢谢大家的支持，然后为了明年的 WLC 世界大会能够办得更好，我们也会努力获得队伍优胜的，嘿，加油！
加油！
谢谢大家。
Yeah, we had a great day. We don't have to play again until like January, but I didn't see 1月? We don't play again until January, so we'll have some buys, but we'll still be bringing you the commentary. So stick with us, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. And I really love the touch at the end, you know, WRC being an international team, to hear the players with a message to their supporters in the native language. I love to hear it.
Okay, then. Well, as I said, Team WRC definitely took today. Can we get the score updates?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at exactly how exactly things went down in the games today. For those who missed it, these were the standings before the session started. At the beginning, Team Angel ahead at plus 49. WRC in last, 69.1 to the negative. However, in the games today, it was Lika in game 1 plus 62.8. Had some great dealer wins and some incredibly aggressive mahjong. Similar to Miho's game, also got first temp by quite a bit and managed to convert those into a lot of points. Jenn in game 2 had to play a little bit more defensively. In her Hanchan, a lot of early Riichis from other players, and she managed to pull off a second place in a closely contested game. And Miho, we just saw, converting 2 big Mongon wins into a first place for a 47.3 total. In total, it is 119.4 for Team WRC. And that means that going into the standings after the day is complete, WRC on top, the only team positive in this group, was plus 50.3. Team Angel in second with negative 1.4. Kamekitazawa, negative 24.7 in third. And Mahjong Cafe Beyond, negative 28.2. But, you know, although WRC has a slight lead, can't rest on their laurels at all, because this is an incredibly tight gap, especially considering how many points you can earn for collecting first places. And if WRC can collect a 100-point session, certainly the other teams can as well.
Yeah, this is just a game swing right now, you see, on the overall scores. So certainly anyone can win this group. A long way to go still.
Just a quick note here. Team Mahjong Cafe Beyond, they were the Yukan Fuji championship team last year. So this is certainly a tough division, and you're not going to count them out whatsoever. That being said,
All right,
they're certainly going to
yeah,
celebrate this performance.
Oh yeah, Team WRC is definitely going to enjoy this, and if they have their break, they'll get Christmas. They'll have plenty of time. Speaking of holidays, I believe we will be back on next on Thanksgiving in the U.S. this upcoming Thursday. So if we can get the schedule up, we have that Thursday and Friday. We said there'd be 3 straight weeks of November commentary, and they will be delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be. We started in July and we'll go all the way up into January, at least for this current schedule. Of course, playoff schedules will be announced later, but we've got more commentary Thanksgiving week and also moving forward in December and January, all the way up into March.
Yeah, it's been every other week. There was a gap because of an issue in Japan. I think they had a holiday. So they moved everything off by a week. And as a result, that meant we had 3 weeks back-to-back in November. You don't see it there. We also had things on the 14th and 15th. But we hope to see you on Thanksgiving. So for the whole crew here, which is Gemma, Chiral, Jenn, who wasn't in the commentary, but you definitely saw her in chat, Nathanael, and this is Corak, along with Graviton, Dave. So we're going to wish you all a good night and hope to see you next Thursday.